and welcome to Game Time on YurView. Tonight's high school game of the week comes to you from Scottsdale, where the Notre Dame Prep Saints host the Apollo Hawks in a big 5A matchup. And hello everybody, Chris Harris here along with former Dallas Cowboy and three-time Super Bowl champion Dale Hellstray. Dale, Notre Dame off to a terrific start, 3-0, while Apollo, after winning their season opener, have dropped their last two.
It's going to be a fun game to watch. Both very young football teams, a great setting here for high school football, and it's actually cooling off a little bit.
Just a little bit.
September, yes.
And Apollo, they are a very inexperienced team. They return only 7 starters from last year, and tonight they'll be starting junior quarterback Brendan Penberthy in place of the regular starter Frank Sanchez, who was out for the second straight week with a concussion. Head coach Zach Threadkill's hoping the Hawks can get a spark here tonight.
Yes, obviously when you're talking about a young team, you have to coach them a little bit differently. You see Coach Threadgill there, 80-54, 13th season at Apollo, a really solid football coach. But when you have a bunch of young guys, you want them to taste some success, especially early in the football season.
Offensively, Apollo is led by Ali Muhammad. The senior running back is averaging 156 yards per game and is a potent blend of power and speed.
Yeah, he's got interest from ASU and Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico, runs a 4.5 40, can catch the ball, can run the ball between the tackles. He is going to have a big game tonight for Apollo.
And you look at the stats for Muhammad, one of the top backs in the state. Look at that game against Desert Mountain, 256 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. Now, like Apollo, Notre Dame, they're very inexperienced as well. They return only 3 starters from last year's team that went to the state championship game before falling to Centennial. George Prelock is hoping his team can get things going here tonight.
Well, it's always a nice thing when a couple of your returning starters are Division I athletes. Jake Smith, you got Cade Bennett, but Prelock has done such a nice job. This program was in upheaval a couple years ago. He stepped in and coming from the freshman head coach, and he's taken over and he's stabilized it, which is a nice job.
And offensively, Notre Dame is led by the most versatile player in the state, Jake Smith. The senior is a dynamic playmaker at wide receiver, running back, and anywhere else you want to put him on the field.
You can try to find as many ways as you can to get the ball in his hands because he's a threat to score anywhere on the football field. They'll also line him up at running back. He's physical at the point of attack, but he's just so dynamic. You'll see him on both sides of the football. Excited to see him play tonight.
Look at some of the numbers here. Rushing the ball, 350 yards, receiving the ball. You're going to see him returning kicks, punts. You're going to see him on defense as well. Just a terrific all-around athlete. All right, when we come back, we'll have the keys to tonight's game between the Apollo Hawks and Notre Dame Prep Saints. You're watching Game Time on YurView Arizona.
Game Time high school football coverage on YurView is sponsored by Arizona Automotive Institute. Turn your dreams into reality with career training from AAI. By Circle K. It's time for a Circle K Polar Pop timeout. Your cup, your rules. And by Valle Luna, proud supporter of scholar athletes in Arizona. Join us all fall long for some of the top high school football from around the country on Game Time.
Coming back to school is a big decision, but at AAI, we're with you every step of the way.
We offer career-focused education, and we work with you from the day you enroll through graduation
To help you reach the ultimate goal of moving into the career you deserve.
Don't be afraid to try something new, to try something different. You will set an example for your family, for your children. It's never too late to start a new career.
Check us out at aai.edu.
Or call now and come visit our campus.
What is Valle Luna Mexican Food and Cantinas? We are a true Arizona original, serving carefully prepared, authentic Sonoran-style cuisine since 1983. We are time-honored family recipes using only the freshest ingredients. Good fun, a family place, a gathering place. We are happy faces and happy hours. We are your new favorite neighborhood hangout. Valle Luna Mexican Food and Cantinas.
Welcome back, everybody. What a beautiful sight here. Notre Dame Prep Stadium as we get set for the kickoff between the Notre Dame Prep Saints and the Apollo Hawks. Beautiful evening, beautiful setting out here, by the way. McDowell Mountains, part of the backdrop here in North Scottsdale.
Gorgeous new stadium. Finally got the lights figured out so the neighbors aren't throwing a fit, and the field looks gorgeous, and we're ready for some high school football here on a Friday evening.
And along those lines, let's now take a look at the keys to tonight's game. And what do we got going on here, Dale?
Well, when you talk about playing keep away, I think Notre Dame is going to just run the football at this Apollo team, get the ball in Jake Smith's hands, but Apollo needs to shorten this game as it goes along. Star power, obviously, you're talking about. You got a fantastic running back in Muhammad, and you got obviously one of the best playmakers in the on the West Coast in Jake Smith, and so it'll be fun to watch these dynamic players perform tonight.
And the Friday night lights, they burn bright. A lot of inexperienced guys here on the field tonight. Let's see who's able to handle it. And it was the Notre Dame Prep Saints. They won the coin toss, and they elected to receive. And deep for Notre Dame is number 3, Connor Butt. And to kick it off for Apollo, number 85, Kevin Cardenas. The Hawks in their white jerseys, blue pants. The Saints in the purple jerseys and white pants. Ready for some football. We are underway. Cardenas is going to field it at about the 12-yard line. Dragging one of the Apollo defenders. He's dragging number 25 there, Charles Nganje. As the Saints offense will take to the field. And here's your Arizona Automotive Institute starting lineups for tonight. Turn your dreams into reality with career training from AAI.
Obviously, we're going to be keeping an eye on Jake Smith right here. We're going to watch number 60, Cade Bennett. Both guys who have multiple offers in front of them. This offense can score anywhere on the football field. Dominic Mastro, the running back, highly underrated, very physical.
Jake Farrell drops back, fires, finds his receiver. Big catch and run here, hauling it in is Luke Roberts, the senior tight end, a pickup of 27 on the play.
Really nice job, 6'4". He's only 205 pounds, plays basketball. You see the nice athletic ability. You look at that body, if you're a college football coach and you're saying, wow, I could put 20, 30 pounds on that body and turn him into a very good college tight end.
Great first play here for the Saints. Now the handoff. Dominic Mastro, nice little sidestep. Another first down for Notre Dame. And Dale, you just spoke of Mastro. He's shown you he's got some nifty abilities going on with some strong downhill running style.
5'9", 190 pounds, and he's only a junior. He just, talking to the coaches, does not get enough credit. You see the starting lineup there for Apollo, but this Notre Dame offense really doing well early in the football game.
Numbers there on the season for Jake Farrell, his senior quarterback. His first year starting for the Saints. Terrific game last week against Gilbert, 5 touchdowns.
False start, offense, still first down.
And that's our referee for tonight, Glenn Kopnick. Our umpire, Cameron Dozier. Head linesman Tucker Johnson, line judge Matthew Kruger, back judge Tyler Stevens, the side judge Greg Dandy, and our field judge tonight, Curtis Benishek. Those are our officials for tonight. Farrell goes shotgun, 1st and 15, fires left side, looking for the receiver, Zach Gray. Not able to come up with the catch. Great defense there by Apollo. We take a look now at the Apollo defense, and there's a great play there by Luis Garcia to break that up.
Obviously, this Notre Dame offense very potent, can score from anywhere on the field. You see the points allowed by this young defense, and they're going to have to play a little bit better tonight than they have the last couple weeks.
Second down and 15, Saints from the Apollo 39. Handoff, Mastro trying to find some room to run. It's going to bring up about 3rd and 12 for Notre Dame.
One thing you notice about the interior of that Apollo defensive line, Landeros and Uriarte, both 5'8", 5'9", one's 260, the other one's 220. Hard to get leverage on those defensive tackles. Landeros, a junior, Uriarte is a senior, but boy, they are tough to block in the run game.
3rd and 12. Penalty flag before the snap. Looks like it's going to be a false start.
Prior to the snap, dead ball, false start, number 54, offense. 3rd down.
Well, that's the second time that Grant Boyer, the left tackle, has been moving before the snap. And, you know, the thing is, when you're any offensive team, you want to stay ahead of the change. You have a 5-yard penalty, another 5-yard penalty. And now you look at your play sheet if you're the offensive coordinator, and you're going, there's not a whole lot of plays for 3rd and 18.
We're going to find out what they dial up here, though. Farrell finds a seam down the middle of the field. Goes through the hands of the intended receiver, Alex Klassen. And it's going to bring up 4th down. And here comes the punting unit for the Saints.
Running a little seam route there. Had a chance to catch the ball. Apollo's defense, really nice job getting off the field here on this first drive.
And coming in to punt for Notre Dame, Griffin Tuning. The regular punter is Jake Smith, but Tuning's going to do a little rugby-style punt. And the good one is if they can slap it back, and it can't do it. It goes into the end zone for a touchback.
It's always interesting watching punts, especially those soccer-style punts or rugby-style punts on the turf. 99% of the time they're going to bounce forward, and that first hop is going to be big. And you have to anticipate that, especially if you play on the turf all the time.
Take a look now at the Apollo offense. Averaging 30 points a game. And again, Ali Muhammad. He's going to lead the way for the Hawks here tonight.
Well, he is, and you know you have a quarterback and Penn Berthy, who more of a pocket quarterback, but boy, 6'4", 185 pounds. It'll be fun to watch him play tonight.
Penn Berthy goes with the pistol formation, gets it out into the flat, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, number 81. Nathan Kessler, as we take a look at the numbers for the Hawks quarterback, Brendan Penberthy. You mentioned the junior and the 6'4", 185 deal. There's a lot to work with there.
Well, there certainly is, and obviously you've lost Frank Sanchez, your 2-year starter. He's out with a concussion tonight. And so you have to change some of your play calling. A big challenge for Zach Threadgill.
Talking to Coach Threadgill, he said Penberthy's more of a pocket passer, not as much of a threat to run the ball as Sanchez. A strong, accurate arm, and a bad snap there. Great job by Penberthy to go back and fall on it. That could have been real trouble there for the Hawks. But an alert play there by Penberthy just to fall on it.
Well, it's kind of interesting there. It looked like Notre Dame jumped off sides interiorly there, but no flag on the play. And as we talked about before, that's not even a challengeable call, but certainly looked like there was a head past the ball. You see the Notre Dame prep Saints defense.
0 defensive starters returning from last year's state championship team. All first-year starters for the Saints.
There's 35 seniors. There's always a lot of playing time.
Penberthy fires, intercepted. Notre Dame coming up with the pick. Trey Cartledge, the junior free safety, A big stop there by the Notre Dame defense.
Well, Cartledge playing safety, just kind of playing center field, reading Penn Berthie's eyes, breaks on the ball. Ball was underthrown a little bit. A couple Saints had a chance to intercept that. But Cartledge does a nice job coming down with the football in great field position for this Notre Dame offense.
And they will take over from the Apollo 20-yard line. Mastro up the middle. Pickup of a couple on the play for Dominic Mastro. Gained 119 yards with a pair of scores in last week's game at Gilbert.
Well, you know this defensive line is going to play hard. You see the numbers on Mastro. Almost 6 yards per carry. Josh Calvin there on the play, 6'2", 195-pound senior, great motor. And a good speed rush. Would be fun to watch him.
Second down and 9. Another handoff to the right side there for Mastro. And Dale, you hear the Mastro name, what do you think of?
I think of steaks and I'm hungry.
Well, his dad is Mastro's, the steakhouses. They currently own Dominic's, Steak 44, Steak 48, which is the out-of-state, out of Arizona steakhouses. Shot to the left side, incomplete. Great defense there by the Hawks to knock it away, preventing the touchdown.
Luis Garcia getting his hands up at the last second. A couple other white jerseys over there. Watch this ball coming down and get those hands up at the last second. Read the receiver's eyes. And going up against Jake Smith, able to knock the ball loose.
It's going to bring up 4th down and 5. Notre Dame is going to go for it from the Apollo 15. Farrell, shotgun. Pump fakes, fires in and out of the hands of Jake Smith. So the Saints will turn it over on downs after coming up with a big interception on defense, but not able to take advantage.
Jorge Lucero from his left defensive end spot, a 5'9", 188-pound senior, was able to disrupt that play. You're going to see him, watch him come over here, get his hand up just as Farrell was trying to get rid of the football. He's working on Cale Gregory, has to pull that ball down, gets hit, ball's thrown a little bit behind Jake Smith. Nice job by this Apollo defense.
And one of the concerns coming into tonight's game for Hawks head coach Zach Threadgill was his defense. He's going to be very pleased there, getting stopped. Handing the ball over to his offense. And Ali Muhammad tries the left side there and coming up with the tackle. And check out that right arm there, Dale, on Brock Lochnikar, the junior middle linebacker. He broke his right hand versus Sunny Slope 2 weeks ago. Didn't play last week against Gilbert, but he's back out here tonight with a club on his right arm.
I want you to watch. Just watch the interior here. Notre Dame has moved about every snap before the snap's done. Now, whether it's heads over the ball or not, could be very, very disruptive. That was 54 Grant Boyer, the 230-pound senior.
Big hit. Muhammad bounces off of Lochnikar, but doesn't get much beyond that. And there's Lochnikar there with the big club on the right side. How difficult is it got to be to tackle with that thing on?
Well, he's at least got his fingers exposed. Watch him come up here, unblocked, hanging on with that free left hand. Just a tough dude, according to all the coaches. Where there's some kids that have a broken bone in their hand, and they're going to miss 4 to 6 weeks. And Brock said, "No, coach, I'm ready to go this week."
Had 17 tackles in their win against Fairfax in the season opener. 3rd and 7. Ken Berthie finds his receiver left side. Nico Rodriguez, the senior wideout. Not much room there. It's going to bring up 4th down for the Hawks.
Trying to get the ball outside, see if he can make somebody miss and pick up some yardage.
And we got a player down for Notre Dame, timeout on the field. And that looks like Grant Boyer for Notre Dame down on the field.
He's one of those two-way guys. He's going to play left tackle for him, and he's going to play defensive line.
Let's now take a look at some notables for Notre Dame. Some guys getting some looks from the colleges. And the man on top, Jake Smith, committed to Texas. Had some other offers from schools including Alabama, Clemson, Auburn, Ohio State, and Georgia, amongst others.
He's committed.
Yes.
Be interested to see if Tom Herman and company continue to lose games like they did to Maryland, if maybe that becomes a little iffy. Now, University of Texas, I went to SMU, so they were our rivals because we were as good as they were back then. Austin's an unbelievable city. The campus is unbelievable, and also I can see why you fall in love with it. But at the end of the day, is Tom Herman the right guy to lead that program?
That loss last week to Maryland, that was an ugly one. Not the way they wanted to start the year. And there is Grant Boyer being helped off the field. And that is an unfortunate sight right there for the Saints. The senior can't put any weight on that right leg as he's being helped off. Hawks punted away, almost blocked, but they do get it away. And that's going to go out of bounds. And it's going to be excellent field position for Notre Dame. They're going to spot that ball at the Apollo 45-yard line.
Well, it's just one of those things that Josh Calvin looks like he's going to come in and block the punt. But it's very simple. You've got to keep, you're going to watch over here coming in off the right edge. Got to keep your hands down. Take the ball right off the punter's foot. Anytime you put your hand up in the air, your chances of blocking the punt go way, way down.
So you want to take the ball basically off the punter's
You just,
foot.
Two hands in front of you, pick the ball off the punter's foot.
Handoff, Mastro gets brought down, pickup of maybe one. Now Notre Dame, on their first two plays of the game, 38 yards. They've got 9 yards on their last 7 plays.
Well, again, you got to give this Apollo defense a ton of credit. The defensive coordinator, Chris Beesbrook, really nice job his first year. Again, those defensive tackles so key to this 4-3 defense. It's got to be difficult to block them. They have to make it difficult on this offensive line.
Farrell dumps it off to Mastro. Room to run for Mastro. First down for the Saints. Great play call there by Notre Dame. Gets the ball to Mastro in open space, a pickup of 13 and the first down.
Really nice job by the offensive line. You have to be actors, and then you have the timing. Really nice timing by Mastro and Farrell. Finds that open space outside, wants to lower his shoulder and try and get a couple extra yards, picks up the first down.
Mastro also part of the lacrosse team here at Notre Dame. They've won the state title the last 2 years. Mastro once again right side, picks up some blocks. Gets brought down though, making the stop. Number 2 for Apollo, Ian Delgado, the senior linebacker.
Boy, they bring Zach Siegel, the tight end linebacker, 6'2", 190 pounds, in motion. He steps back to the fullback position, runs the lead block. Looked like they gained more yards than they did, but nice job by Delgado and company for the Hawks.
Brings up second down and 7. Mastro, left side. Gets brought down, tackle made this time by number 22 for the Hawks. And that is Breon Gray, pardon me.
Gray coming up and doing a nice job. You see him right there. He's 5'10", 190 pounds. You can see how physical he is, and you can see how this Apollo team came out. They're ready to play another third down situation for the Saints.
And that's one thing you'll see from the Zach Threadgill team. They will play hard. He gets these guys ready to go each and every game. Pass out in the flat. Jake Smith tried to give him some room to operate. And there's that Apollo defense doing a great job pursuing to the ball. Let's see if it's going to be a first down. Depends on the spot. And it looks like it's going to be just short of a first down.
Really nice job on the outside, forcing Jake Smith back to the inside. Smith has speed. He has a gear that most high school kids don't have. Force him back into your buddies.
4th and 1. Smith breaks free. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Jake Smith on 4th down and 1 gets the 22-yard score, and the Saints strike first.
Happens so many times. 3rd and short, 4th and short. You sell out to stop the run if one gap opens and you have a dynamic athlete like Jake Smith. Could end up in a touchdown, and once he finds open ground, nobody's going to catch him.
Extra point is up, and it is good. So Jake Smith was his 13th touchdown on the season, which leads all of 5A. Gives Notre Dame the 7-0 lead. It's now time to take a Circle K Polar Pop timeout. Your cup, your rules. 3:48 remaining first quarter. The Saints lead the Hawks by a score of 7-0.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
Hey Arizona, Circle K is home of the 89-cent any-size Polar Pop Foam Cup. Fill up the cup that stays cold longer with your favorite flavor and enjoy all day long. You can get any size Polar Pop Foam Cup for just 89 cents every day. That's right, any size Polar Pop Foam Cup for just 89 cents. Head to Circle K now and get a Polar Pop Cup and so much more, only at Circle K.
Tonight's Game Time starting lineups are brought to you by Arizona Automotive Institute. Turn your dreams into reality with career training from AAI. Join us all fall long for some of the top high school football from around the country on Game Time.
Welcome back, everybody. Notre Dame grabbing the 7-0 lead thanks to the Jake Smith 22-yard touchdown run, and Dale almost right on cue. You mentioned he's got another gear, and it got him into the end zone just a moment ago.
Well, you got 4th and 1, and you're trying to sell out, but watch over here. Watch how it opens up, and watch number 1. Running right through the one gap. You got the down blocks, looking for people to block. Tremendous job there by number 14, Zach Siegel. Saw his lead block on a play earlier. Siegel, a tight end linebacker, 6'2", 190 pounds, physical at the point of attack. And if Jake Smith has open field, you're in trouble.
Jake Smith, 13th touchdown on the season. There's the kick by Tuning. Nice job of fielding it. But there's the Notre Dame special teams coming up. Brandon Johnson nowhere to go.
Gain of 2 on the return after the 10. Hawks will take over 1st and 10 on their own 10.
Really hard when you let that ball hit on the ground. You get lucky. Those purple jerseys are closing in on you, and a tremendous job by Josh Calvin getting down there to cover it, sprinting full speed.
Total yards here so far in the first quarter. Notre Dame 91 yards. Apollo just 6.
Congratulations to Mort Baumschein, who was our online winner.
It'll be interesting to see if they try and start running a little bit behind that, the right side of that offensive line. Rodriguez, the right guard, 300 pounds. Jacob Lee, the right tackle, 330 pounds. And remember, both starting tackles, this is their first year of playing football.
Muhammad, left side. Dale, could you imagine 2 starters on your offensive line, first year ever playing football at the varsity level?
Well, I think you're going to see more and more of it. Guys playing flag football or just not playing until they get to high school. Maybe they have a late growth spurt, something like that. But remember, they're both juniors. They both got good size. It'll be interesting to see how they develop throughout this year and into next year.
Talking with Apollo head coach Zach Threckville, he said he'd been working on those guys for a while, trying to get them out of the hallways and out on the football field, and he finally did. You see a flag come down. See what the penalty is for.
Aaron Walls is the offensive line coach for Apollo, working with these young kids.
Holding, 17 on the defense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Max Bergamo, senior cornerback, called for the penalty. See Zach Threadgill there on the left side of your screen. Just behind them with the towel on his head, that's Frank Sanchez, senior quarterback. He was the starting quarterback, but he's now missing his second straight game due to that concussion.
Sanchez last year, 15 touchdowns against 5 interceptions and a running threat and just a different dynamic to this offense.
And they had to adjust the play calling here tonight because of that. Sanchez more of the runner, Penberthy more of the passer. And they're going to go trips to the left, single receiver to the right. And off to Muhammad. Nice pickup there for Ali Muhammad, the senior running back we featured at the top of the game.
Well, you have this young defense for Notre Dame. You're going to see a lot of blitzing. You'll see a 3-man line, a 4-man line. You see those linebackers come up. And again, you find a gap, and you're going to get 5-6 yards. But guess what? As the game goes along, that 5-6 yards can turn into 50 or 60.
And that's something that Notre Dame head coach George Prelock was concerned about with Muhammad. He said he jumps out on film. He's impressive. He runs hard. The guy's a workhorse. They have their hands full trying to slow him down, but the Notre Dame defense doing a great job of slowing down that Apollo offense. Is coming in and getting the sack is the junior outside linebacker Connor Butt.
So you need to understand, where's that pass rush coming from? Your running back steps up. You can't step back as a quarterback because you're stepping right back into the rush of Connor Butt. Step up into that pocket as a quarterback. Let them run those defenders around you.
That is the 12th sack on the season for Notre Dame. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and 12. 2:15 remaining opening quarter. Saints with a 7-zip lead thanks to the Jake Smith 22-yard touchdown run. Pass is complete. Going to be short of the first down, though. Tackle is made again by Connor Butt.
Well, that's Muhammad making the catch. And if you stay ahead of the chains, and that's 3rd and 5, you pick up a first down. You take a sack, get behind the chains. That obviously, you got Bob Young, the defensive coordinator for Notre Dame. He came down from Mingus, very, very aggressive. Going to come at you 3rd and long and stop you short of the first down.
Apollo gets the punt away. Ball's going to go out of bounds. Looks like they're going to mark it about the 34-yard line. Monster Jam is adrenaline-charged family entertainment, providing jaw-dropping displays and gravity-defying feats that leave fans on the edge of their seats. The biggest stars on 4 wheels return to University of Phoenix Stadium on October 6th. Tickets available now at Ticketmaster.com. So the Saints offense will take over on their own 34-yard line. Minute and a half remaining, opening quarter. Farrell finds his receiver, number 21, Alex Klassen. Another first down for the Saints.
Get the ball out of your hands quickly. You see just a quick little out. Easy throw and catch. Pick up a first down. Challenges Apollo defense on the perimeter.
Farrell has looked sharp here early on for Notre Dame. Going to roll out to the right. Has the receiver. Roberts calls it down. Roberts still going. Finally gets tripped up. Huge pickup for Notre Dame. 50-yard pickup. Luke Roberts.
Well, when you run the football, the play action, you see he almost fumbles the football there. Nice athletic play, drops it over the linebacker. And we've talked about Roberts, basketball player playing football, 6'4", nice tall target out there for the Saints.
First and goal from the 4. Mastro, touchdown Notre Dame.
5-yard touchdown run by number 27, Dominic Mastro.
Dominic Mastro, the 4-yard touchdown run, his second of the season. Notre Dame, another touchdown with under a minute remaining here in the first quarter.
Nice job by the left side of that offensive line, just coming off the football. And watch how low Mastro gets here. Again, the lead block from number 14, that's Siegel again. Heat-seeking missile.
Shooting the extra point is good. Siegel, he was looking for somebody to hit. There was nobody there for a while.
He's got a real nice feel for that, and when he gets there, he comes with some physicality.
Good look at Dominic Mastro, his second touchdown of the season. And Dale, we were talking about how his father started the Mastro Steakhouse. So I asked him, so what's your favorite steak? He said, the bone-in filet mignon. What do you think? What's your favorite steak?
Well, I can't afford to go to Mastro's, so from Safeway, it's a New York strip.
That's a good way to go.
See Mastro and the plays he's made so far in this football game. He's caught the ball. You see him seeking contact. Follows his blockers awful good. Has vision and a feel. And physical. When you are 5'10", 180 pounds, and you lower those shoulders a little bit. And actually, he's 5'9", 190 pounds, but you lower those shoulders and very physical. 31 rushing yards, 13 receiving yards, and we're not out of the first quarter yet.
Mastro said, like to be an emergency room doctor or get involved in some type of criminal investigation in his future. Nice return there by Brandon Johnson for the Hawks. Gets it out to the 30-yard line.
Well, Apollo needs to find a way to get out of the shadow of their own goalposts. The entire first quarter has been played on their side of the football field, and somebody needs to come up with a play, and probably the most likely person is Ali Muhammad. We've talked about him, a 4'5", 40 guy. Last year, over 1,500 rushing yards, 22 touchdowns. See if he can't get on track a little bit. And on top of all that, Coach says that he's the strongest player on the team.
And on Wednesday, he just picked up his first offer from Western New Mexico. So I feel like there's some other offers pouring in as the next few weeks wear on. Look at Muhammad just churning those legs to pick up a couple extra yards.
I always enjoy seeing those running backs who are going to lower their shoulders, run through contact, and that's man on man. That's Lochnacar, the All-American wrestler, playing 2 weeks after a broken hand with a big club on that hand, and that's Muhammad running physical between the tackles.
And that will bring us to the end of the first quarter here at Notre Dame. And it is the Saints behind touchdowns by Jake Smith and Dominic Mastro. They lead the Apollo Hawks 14-0 after one. You're watching Game Time on YurView Arizona.
Touchdown run by number 27, Dominic Mastro.
See it, hear it, feel it. Monster Jam. Where the only thing bigger than the trucks is the air they catch. See Gravedigger, Max D, Son of a Digger, and more of your favorite Monster Jam trucks.
Presented by official partners America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses and BKT Tires. Tickets start at $15. Restrictions may apply. University of Phoenix Stadium, October 6th.
What is Valle Luna Mexican Food and Cantinas? We are a true Arizona original, serving carefully prepared, authentic Sonoran-style cuisine since 1983. We are time-honored family recipes using only the freshest ingredients. Good fun, a family place, a gathering place. We are happy faces and happy hours. We are your new favorite neighborhood hangout. Valle Luna Mexican Food and Cantinas.
From style tips to travel ideas, Arizona Living Your Life, Your Style is designed to enhance your life in Arizona.
We're hitting the lanes on the next Arizona Living Your Life, Your Style. Come with us to Bolero in Gilbert.
Plus, the Arizona Governor's Office of Highway Safety shares tips for staying safe on Arizona roadways. Watch Arizona Living Your Life, Your Style, Sunday and Tuesday on YurView. Brought to you by the Arizona Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Here are tonight's Valle Luna Mexican Restaurants Scholar Athletes of the game. Valle Luna, proud supporters of Scholar Athletes in Arizona. Congratulations to Cale Gregory of Notre Dame Prep and Ali Muhammad of Apollo. Cale has a 4.35 GPA. While taking honors classes, he scored a 33 out of 36 on the ACT. Also a member of the National Honor Society and volunteers at St. Mary's Food Bank. Ali has a 3.7 GPA, is a multi-sport athlete, and volunteers as a youth football coach as well. Congratulations to those two young men. And speaking of Ali Muhammad, there he is with the carry, picking up the first down for the Hawks to open up the second quarter.
Well, see, if you stay ahead of the chains and you can run the football against this Notre Dame football team. They're a little undersized up front, and with Muhammad, as dynamic as he is, you stay in 2nd and 7, 6, 5, then you can hand the ball off again, you can hand the ball off again. And we talked about that in the open about shortening the game if you're the Apollo Hawks.
Muhammad's a guy, you see his numbers there. If he can get him out in space, he can run too. Runs the 100, 200, and 400 for the track team. And he gets a little breather there. Getting the carry this time is Brandon Johnson.
That can't be right. Program says he's 5'7", 128 pounds.
That's what they're telling us.
Oh, he flies, and he's going to lower his shoulders, and only a junior. Fun to watch him run the football in that fly sweep.
As a receiver, Coach Threadgill said he's got a lot of potential. Runs good routes, good hands. 2nd and 7. Penberthy to Johnson, first down Apollo. And you said it, Dale, if you can get your numbers right, you can stay ahead of the chains, open up the playbook a little bit.
Well, you can as he loses his pants there on the tackle, but nice throw, nice catch. Again, another first down. You start to get into a little bit of a rhythm. You see the numbers on the season averaging 15 yards per catch. Really nice average, and you can see the makings of a good football team here that Zach Threadgill has going.
And Brandon Johnson, you saw him tightening the strings on those pants, make sure there's no wardrobe malfunctions out there. 1st and 10 Apollo. Muhammad again, right side. Nice job there by Muhammad, talking to Coach Threadgill. He said he runs hard, he runs angry, and he is hungry to play at the next level. Just he wants to be good.
Direct snap to Muhammad. Let's watch that offensive line come off the football, pick a gap. A little counter action, just running straight ahead. And again, 2nd and 3, I can do anything I want to if I'm Coach Threadgill.
And Penberthy back in at quarterback. Penberthy looking for the receiver. Notre Dame trying to come up with the interception. And they're going to give it to him. How about that? What a play defensively. James Jaquint, the sophomore linebacker, coming up with the interception.
They're going to watch over here. Little pressure comes in on Penberthy. Looked like he's just trying to throw the football away. Just a tremendous job by Jay Quint. Only a sophomore, 6'2", 175 pounds, gets his hands underneath the football. And after a really nice drive, give the ball back to this Notre Dame offense.
Jay Quint's older brother, Joey, was the starting strong safety on last year's team that went to the state championship game. Joey was the first team all-region last year, and he's now playing at Lake Forest in Chicago. So James carrying on the family name here at Notre Dame, coming big play.
Well, Dominic Mastro getting behind the right side of that offensive line. You have Cale Gregory, 6'2", 280 pounds. You got Cade Bennett, 6'4", 295. And when they get their momentum going straight ahead, tough to stop that run.
Two impressive offensive linemen for that Saints team. Now Mastro is going to work the left side, bounces off a couple of tacklers. Nice job there by Dominic Mastro. Another first down for Notre Dame.
Well, here's the reason why a lot of big-time colleges will like this young man right here, Cade Bennett. Watch him pull and kick out, and watch the hole that opens up right behind him. He's 295 pounds. You see the leverage, you see the speed, and then Dominic doing a tremendous job running right in behind him.
You mentioned Cade Bennett has offers from ASU, U of A, Iowa State, Syracuse. Also drawing some interest from UCLA, Stanford, and Cal as well. Roberts again with the catch. Come up to make the tackle is Jamari Jimenez. But how about the connection here early on with Jake Farrell and Luke Roberts?
Well, Roberts came into the game with 8 catches for 65 yards. That's a nice average per catch for a tight end. But you can see this kid has a lot of big play potential in him. And at 6'4", you love those targets.
You saw his numbers so far tonight. 3 catches, 83 yards. They work Mastro once again. This time he's going to get bottled up by that Hawk defense. And we're going to have a timeout on the field. And we have a player down for Apollo. And we saw earlier in the game for Notre Dame Prep, Grant Boyer go out, and the report we got on the sidelines looked like it was a foot injury for the Saints senior. Again, Apollo player down now. And we touched on it off the top, Dale. A lot of different looks here for the Notre Dame team this season. Graduated 35 seniors, 3 returning stars, all of them on the offensive side of the ball. You look at a lot of big-time names there that graduated from last year's team.
You do, and obviously a team that went to the state championship, they end up losing to Centennial as their only loss of the season. We got to see Centennial last week. We know that they are good each and every year, but this Notre Dame team, a lot of question marks about it. But here you're getting off to a good start, and again, I think you got to tip your cap to George Prelock. This coaching staff has done a tremendous job molding these kids and getting better each and every week. That's one thing about a young football team. You're not playing your best football in the first or second week of the season. You're going to continue to get better as the season goes along.
And the player for Apollo is up and walking off the field under his own power. You see George Prelock there. And going off the field for Apollo, number 22 is Breon Gray. Hopefully he's going to be okay, the senior. You mentioned Prelock, the graduating 35 seniors. He said that training camp, it was kind of exciting. There's a lot of open spots. Farrell, Jake Smith, touchdown, Notre Dame. Just like that. The quick strike, the grab and go for Jake Smith, 37 yards. Notre Dame strikes again.
Well, it mentally can just get to you as a football team. Your offense driving the ball, you turn the ball over, and then all Jake Smith does is he runs a seam route, can't stay with him, get the ball out to him, and he does the rest.
Jake Smith, 37-yard grab and go, his second touchdown of the night. One on the ground, one through the air. The extra point is up and good by Griffin Tuning. And with 7:45 remaining here in the second quarter, Notre Dame leading Apollo 27-0. And it's now time to take a Circle K Polar Pop timeout. Your cup, your rules. Saints on top, 21-zip.
Tonight's Game Time starting lineups are brought to you by Arizona Automotive Institute. Turn your dreams into reality with career training from AAI. Join us all fall long for some of the top high school football from around the country on Game Time.
Hey Arizona, Circle K is home of the 89-cent any-size Polar Pop Foam Cup. Fill up the cup that stays cold longer with your favorite flavor and enjoy all day long. You can get any size Polar Pop Foam Cup for just 89 cents every day. That's right, any size Polar Pop Foam Cup for just 89 cents. Head to Circle K now and get a Polar Pop Cup and so much more, only at Circle K.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
This week on YurView's high school football recruiting podcast, Over the Middle, Jeremy is joined this week by Joe Johnson, the creative director for the University of South Carolina. Johnson was one of the pioneers of edits, the social media designs that are an important part of the recruiting process. Jeremy is also joined by Graham Mertz, the nation's #2 quarterback and a Wisconsin Badger commitment. All that and more in this week's episode of Over the Middle podcast. Here's a good look there at Jake Smith. 2 touchdowns on the night, 1 on the ground and 1 through the air right here, Dale.
Really nice job there by Farrell, standing in there, knows he's going to take a hit from the left side, but tell you what, if I'm in doubt, I'm throwing the ball towards #1 and let him go make a play. Smith, 30-plus offers. And, until you see him in person, you go, well, he's 6 foot, 185 pounds, and I know he's fast and all those things, but he is just so dynamic when you get to watch him play.
It was fun to watch him putting on a show for us here in the first half. Brandon Johnson on the return. Back with Jake Smith, last year he had over 1,000 yards rushing and receiving. The first player to do that in Arizona since Saguaro's Christian Kirk did it back in 2014.
Didn't Christian Kirk do that in like one game?
It seemed like it.
I thought he did that in one game, one playoff game or something where they scored 80-something points after they didn't play anybody against Chaparral, which we get to do next week. I have a feeling.
Yes, that'll be a fun one.
I have a feeling we'll see some starters from Saguaro playing next Friday night.
Oh, they will be. And tonight they're at Desert Mountain. Chaparral is off tonight. My friend, some of those Firebird coaches might be over at that game. Taking a look. Handoff, nowhere to go for Mohammed. And so far here in the first half, Notre Dame, 222 yards of total offense. Apollo with 65.
Well, again, you line up in that 3-4 defense and you walk linebackers up, you walk them around. You can do so many things to confuse an offensive line. And again, if you have a couple guys who haven't played much football, communication, things like that can be really difficult in a pressure situation.
7 minutes remaining, first half. Second down and 9. Ben Berkey in the pistol formation. Nice catch there by Muhammad to reel that in. Ali Muhammad, we know he can run the ball, but he can show some nice hands there as well.
My goodness. I mean, he kind of tips that one up to himself. That was a rocket from Penberthy. Reaches up with his left hand, as you're going to see pretty decent protection up front. But watch Penberthy put a little zip on this ball, and look at that left hand go up, tip it to himself. There's a little confusion with the chain gang over there, but it looks like a first down. Nice job by Muhammad.
Let's see his numbers there so far in the first half. Handoff, Muhammad breaks out of the tackle by Lochnikar, maintains his balance. And a nice pickup there for Muhammad.
One thing I'd like to see Apollo's offense do a little bit is change up that snap count, because Notre Dame is anticipating. Those linebackers are blitzing on time. A little hard count, a little on three. Again, you have a young team. Sometimes as a coach, you're a little afraid to do that because your young guys might jump off sides.
That was one thing Coach Threadgill talked about, trying to simplify some things because they are so inexperienced.
I just love the vision of this young man. You've talked about Muhammad and the interest from ASU and Arizona and Nevada. The stats last year. We've seen him catch the ball. We've seen him run the ball. We've seen him lower his shoulder. You can see he's a dynamic playmaker. And again, doing that behind a inexperienced offensive line.
And for Zach Threadgill last year, he had over 1,500 yards of rushing, 22 touchdowns. Had 9 games where he went over 100 yards. And there's Muhammad picking up the first down for Apollo, and they continue to move the chains. And that was one of the keys that Zach Threadgill told us for Apollo offensively, was to sustain drives.
Again, direct snap to Muhammad, but I want you to watch where he initially gets hit. Watch the penetration by the purple jerseys, getting across the line of scrimmage, getting hit right there, keeps those feet driving and able to pick up the first down.
Ken Berkey back in at quarterback. And he's just going to throw this one away. Didn't see anything he liked, just got rid of it. Ken Berkey, also part of student council at Apollo, junior class vice president. Got a 3.6 GPA, taking honors classes.
Well, we talked about Muhammad running the football, catching the football, but let me tell you what, watch him come over here and pick up this blitz. Now, this is what a lot of really good high school running backs don't want to do. Look at that physicality, picking up the blitz, sacrificing yourself.
And now here's with the carry, Muhammad off to the races. Ali Muhammad, touchdown Apollo. A 53-yard touchdown run by Muhammad, and Apollo is on the board.
Well, you blitz and you blitz and you blitz. A lot of times you make teams look silly for a while, but all it takes is one crack when you got a dynamic playmaker. Nose tackle falls down, linebacker runs around a block, and then there is nobody up the middle. And when Muhammad sees Pater, look at him go. You've seen the entire arsenal of Ali Muhammad here in this first half.
Muhammad showing that track speed. And the extra point is up, and it is good. And right on cue, Dale. You were just bragging on him a little bit. Showing the hands, showing he can block. And there he is showing the speed as well.
Well, he just gave us the, he gave us the whole arsenal. And that's a kid you can watch for a half of football and say he's a college football player. 12 rushes, over 100 yards already, and the touchdown. We've seen a catch. We've seen the blocking on the blitz. Those are things that, as I said, a lot of normal, good high school running backs don't want to do. They don't want to stick their head up there and pick up the blitz. They want to wait to run the football the next play.
And again, Muhammad picked up his first offer on Wednesday from Western New Mexico, but I think as he puts college coaches see more and more of film like this, there's going to be some bigger schools coming his way.
And as you talked about, I mean, just a tremendous young man. He's 3.7, 3.8 GPA. You just got to be excited for him and what lies ahead.
You see those career numbers for Muhammad. Now, he didn't play his sophomore year. He suffered an injury to his finger, to one of his ligaments, and he missed the season. The numbers are just from last year and this season.
might save some wear and tear on his body. Who knows? Well, let's see how Notre Dame answers this. 21-7 now, just under 5 minutes left in the second quarter. You kind of had your way so far here in the first quarter. You are missing your left tackle, Grant Boyer. Right now, the replacement for Notre Dame is Roy Spencer, a junior.
You see Farrell's numbers there. Very impressive start for the senior quarterback, first-year starter. Has time to throw, looks down the field, just over the outstretched hands of Zach Gray. And those two players are quite a connection. In fact, they're next-door neighbors. So I was talking to Coach Prelock. He said, yeah, I think those guys, when they're at home, they just kind of pop outside and run some routes.
Zach Gray, 6'4", 185 pounds, averaging almost 28 yards per catch. Another one of those big targets along with Luke Roberts.
He's another guy who's drawn some interest from Ivy League schools, just like Farrell. Mastro, left side. Ian Delgado wraps him up. Mastro tries to break free. Finally gets thrown to the ground. It's a nice little one-on-one battle there between Delgado and Mastro.
It's going to be fun to watch Mastro go from this year to next year, only a junior. Nice physical run, gets hit right in the hole, keeps those legs driving, and Delgado with a very nice tackle. You see the numbers here in the first half for Dominic Mastro.
He's already got 2 games this season where he's gone over 100 yards. 3rd and 7 for the Saints from their own 37. 4 minutes remaining here, first half. We've got movement up front, and the flags come flying.
Trying to bring a blitz. Let's see if just a little bit late there, but looked like they had crossed the football, which is offsides immediately in high school football. Looked like Notre Dame might have got away with a couple of them earlier in the game. Apollo gets caught there, now 3rd down and 1.
That is the first penalty on the night for the Hawks. Farrell has his receiver making the catch. Number 2, Robbie Brodar, the senior wide receiver, his 3rd catch of the season.
He's 5'11", 155 pounds, a little out route. See the pass protection. Nice pocket for Farrell to step up in.
Jake Farrell drawing interest in the Ivy League schools. Got a 3.93 GPA, taking AP and honors classes. Mastro, right side. Follows his block. How about that? Nice run there by Mastro, but how about number 74, Jackson Wiles, blocking downfield?
The left guard, Jackson Wiles, pulls. It's just a power play. You're going to see number 74 turning up in the hole there, looking for somebody to block. Nice kick out. Got to make sure you finish that play as Wiles gets over there and gets another shot on number 4, looked like, Jimenez for Apollo.
First down, Notre Dame. Farrell rolls right, finds his receiver, Zach Siegel, making the catch. Siegel, another one of those players. High GPA, 4.2 AP honors classes, and star lacrosse player. He's got offers for lacrosse from Furman, drawn some interest from Tufts and Lehigh as well.
What a great crossover sport. Lacrosse and football, as you mentioned, a number of these Notre Dame kids play lacrosse and football, and the Bemis Field champions.
Siegel's a 2-time All-State selection as a defenseman. Mastro, left side. Terrific job there again, working the ground game. Dominic Mastro. Another big run for the Saints.
Okay, I want you to watch this. This again is going to be Zach Siegel. Watch the way he sets the edge here. 6'2", 190 pounds. Look at that job that he does. If I'm Dom Mastro, I might be taking him over to Stake 44 after the game with blocks like that.
There might be a family outing, a team outing, I should say. Go to the Dominics or Stake 44. I don't think they'd be too choosy.
I like the way that Notre Dame has responded to that score by Apollo, just methodically driving the football down the field, imposing their physicality on them, run after run, mixing a little pass in there.
2nd down and 5 from the Apollo 10. Saints trying to add some more points here before the half ends. Mastro following his blocks, still on his feet. Finally gets stopped, but he's inside the 5-yard line. First and goal for Notre Dame. And isn't the old adage for you, Dale, you keep running it until they stop you?
Well, my adage is you keep running until they stop you, and you run it one more time to make sure they didn't do it by mistake. But the way that this Notre Dame team is running the football right now, you can see that they feel very confident.
That offensive line for Notre Dame doing some work. Mastro, left side, cuts it in. Touchdown, Notre Dame. No, they're going to mark him short. He's going to be marked short of the goal line.
Well, there's really no issues here. The ball's in his right hand. You're going to see him come right over here, and we'll try and see if we can't see where the ball touches the ground. Good lead blocks, but nice job by that Apollo defense. Hit there, keeping those legs going, elbows down, and that's a really nice call by the officials.
The 10th play of the drive. The ball is loose on the ground. Great job there by Mastro to recover it.
Well, if you're Notre Dame, you got your 3 timeouts. You know you got 2 plays left. Not sure that I wouldn't just let the clock run down to about 15 seconds, and whatever happens, you know Apollo's not going to get the ball back.
And this will be the 11th play of the drive coming up. It's a good look at Dominic Mastro's gotten a lot of work in here the first half.
That's a second quarterback center exchange we've seen bobble. This one actually hit the ground between Henry Simon and Jake Farrell. It's always the quarterback's fault, by the way.
Never the center.
You got to keep your hands up under there. You got to stay in there until the ball hits your hand.
What is it with you, center, offensive linemen? You take everything so personal.
Well, because quarterbacks get paid more. They're the pretty boys. They get the pretty girls. They can take a little bit of the blame.
Man, a little touchy over here. A little sensitive. .29 seconds left here in the first half. Saints 21-7 lead. Jake Farrell and the guys come back out. Trying to get one more score here before the half wraps up. 3rd and goal from the 2. Smith cuts it inside. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Jake Smith with his 3rd touchdown of the game, his 2nd on the ground.
I had a flashback back in 1995. Emmitt Smith set the NFL record, 25 touchdowns in the season. Michael Irvin caught about 20 balls inside the 5-yard line and fell down somewhere in between the 5 and the 1. And then they'd hand it off to Emmitt on the 1-yard line and score a touchdown. Jake Smith got that touchdown drive paid off because Dominic Mastro took him all the way down there.
Let's take a look at how this scoring drive came about, and there is Dominic Mastro that you just spoke of doing all the dirty work.
Just a workhorse. Talks about following blockers. You see the vision, not going to go down on first contact. That offensive line enjoys blocking for him.
Coach Prelock talked about that low center of gravity that Mastro has. It's just hard to bring him down to the ground. Mastro had 44 yards rushing on that drive, but who gets the touchdown? Mr. Jake Smith.
When you're 5'9", 190 pounds, remember Mastro's only a junior. And I thought when I'm working with offensive linemen and, you know, you're 6'1", 6 foot, 6'2", I always say use your lack of height to your advantage because you have leverage. And at 5'9", right now, Dominic Mastro has leverage on most of those linebackers.
And there's going to be an onside kick. There's a penalty flag down.
Be interesting to see number 1 rule of an onside kick, stay onside.
Dead ball, encroachment, kicking team, 5 yards, free kick.
Kind of an interesting call there. 28 seconds left. You still have 2 timeouts.
Figured they'd try to catch Apollo off guard, not expecting it. But as you say, they got to stay onside. So Griffin Tuning will tee it back up again. This time the ball is brought back to the 35. Ali Muhammad back deep to return for Apollo. And another onside kick. And Apollo fouls on it this time. And they're going to start from the Saints' 44-yard line. And again, an interesting decision.
Well, remember now, Apollo has 3 timeouts. Again, the first time you did catch them off guard. Remember, the ball needs to go 10 yards to the offensive team, receiving team, and you go get the ball, make sure you fall on it. And now Apollo, 3 timeouts. Remember, in high school football, you complete a pass in the field of play, pick up a first down, the clock stops too.
Well, let's see what Apollo can dial up here. 28 seconds remaining with excellent field position. Penberthy in the pistol formation. Hand off to Muhammad, right side, cuts it back up the middle. Still on his feet, Ali Muhammad. And how about that? Ali Muhammad with the 44-yard touchdown run. And they make Notre Dame pay for trying the onside kick.
We have seen some tremendous athletes out here tonight. First of all, watch that offensive line. Notre Dame blitzing again. You can't give up outside leverage there. If you're Notre Dame, you got an inside blitz, you got the outside gap. Got to make sure you take care of your business. Breaks 2, 3, 4 arm tackles. And then nobody's going to catch him as he is in the open field. Connor Butt gave chase. I'm sure going in the locker room, Notre Dame's going to be visiting about that as a coaching staff.
And you see Muhammad's first half numbers, 145 yards, averaging over 11 yards a carry, a pair of touchdowns. Remember, he came into tonight's game averaging 156 yards per game. And Muhammad's got 97 of those yards just on his last 2 carries, both of them going for touchdowns.
Well, got to give some love to that offensive line. Jacob Lee and Rodriguez at right guard, Dan in the center, Cruz left guard, Marina the left tackle, and we've mentioned here in the first half those 2 tackles, Marina and Lee. First year of playing football, makes it a lot more fun. Watch up here again. Notre Dame's going to come up and blitz, but you've got to make sure that you are responsible for your gap. And when you come inside like that and you got an athlete like Muhammad, he's going to make you pay, just like Jake Smith is going to make you pay if you don't keep your gap integrity.
I'll tell you what, Apollo's sideline's a little charged up right now. I thought they were going down 28-7, and all of a sudden it's 28-14. And remember, the Hawks will receive the second half kickoff.
Oh, right there. Oh,
They're going to stop here at first, though, on special teams, which they finally do, with 10 seconds remaining. And that was Connor Butt on the return for Notre Dame. So that's a Change of momentum there for Zach Threadgill. His team now just trails by 2 touchdowns. We'll get the ball to start the second half. Could cut it to a 1-score game.
Well, it's just one of those interesting decisions. And obviously, George Prelock had his reasoning, but when the first onside kick is not successful, not sure why you just don't kick the ball away.
Ten seconds remain. Notre Dame from their own 31. Farrell fires across the middle, has the receiver. It's Roberts once again. Big pickup there for Roberts. Clock will stop. Just under 2 seconds remaining. So Notre Dame will have time for one more play.
Good pass protection up front. Just watch this pocket. No white jerseys come until late. Goes to his second read. You can see number 12, Jake Farrell, looking at the clock, wanting to call a timeout. Watch as soon as not going to see his head here, but as soon as the ball is caught, he's looking at that scoreboard to see if there's enough time to call a timeout and get one more play in, and there is at 1.9 seconds.
How about the half for Luke Roberts? 4 catches, 115 yards. Almost averaging 29 yards a catch. Comes from an athletic background. His father, Jeff, former baseball player at ASU. And how about his mom, Ann Lanker, former Channel 3 news anchor. So Roberts, who came into tonight's game with 8 catches for 65 yards on the season, well, he's doubled that in the yardage department almost in the first half here tonight.
Good, nice job by Farrell. Hang on to the football there. Great hands. You can see how comfortable Roberts feels. Gets tripped up. Saw the end zone in his sights. Catches the ball with his hands, which is a really nice trait to have as a receiver.
Shot down. Last play of the half falls incomplete. And it's halftime here at Notre Dame. And the Saints leading Apollo 28-14. Take a look at Ali Muhammad. A pair of touchdowns for the Hawks to keep Apollo in this game. He's got close to 150 yards so far in the first half. And let's now catch up with Notre Dame Prep head coach George Prelock. And coach, offensively in the first half, able to get Jake Smith going. Defensively, a couple of lapses there to end the half. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we thought we saw some things on film. We thought we could get them. You know, not necessarily what we wanted, how to end it, but we just got to come up, make plays and tackles. And there are a couple times offensively, especially in the first quarter, we came up short. Those false starts are drive killers. We can't have them.
And you talked about Ali Muhammad, their running back. You say he jumps off the film, and now you've seen him in person. Same feelings, if not more so.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him on film. We knew he's the real deal, and he is that tonight. And we got to work on stopping him.
Real quick, your message to the team there in the locker room here.
No, we got to finish. You know, it's a 4-quarter game, and we got to come out and play second half the way we start, and not have all the boneheaded penalties and make all the mistakes.
Thanks for the time, Coach. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
That was Notre Dame Prep head coach George Prelock. Appreciate his time. Halftime here at Notre Dame, and it is the Saints leading the Apollo Hawks 28-14. You're watching Game Time on YurView Arizona.
Halftime on YurView is sponsored by Arizona Automotive Institute. Turn your dreams into reality with career training from AAI. By Circle K. It's time for a Circle K Polar Pop timeout. Your cup, your rules. And by Valle Luna, proud supporter of scholar athletes in Arizona. Join us all fall long for some of the top high school football from around the country on Game Time.
It's a new season for the D-backs, but not just any season. it's the 20th anniversary, so they have a whole lot of new things going on around the ballpark. You don't want to miss it. Check this out.
We wanted to create something very authentic, something very original and traditional. So we came up with La Terraza. It's basically a place where families can come together, celebrate Latin culture with great food, music, a giant prize wheel. Another addition to La Terraza last year was La Carreta de Lima. They offer everything from fruit drinks, fruit in a cup with tahini, and a bunch of great snacks. Really authentic, and it's really meant for everyone to celebrate the Latin culture, not just for Latino families. So we're very happy that this area is alive now, and to get families out here to celebrate D-backs baseball with this great culture.
Thank you, Gary. Make sure you check out a game or two this summer and be a part of the D-backs 20th anniversary celebration. So I'll see you here at Chase Field.
In the blink of an eye, cities fall, heroes rise. A heartbeat skips as a man slips gravity's grip, and heartbreak leaps from the brink in a blink. Just think of all the games, teams, hopes, and dreams that live and die because greatness lies in the blink of an eye. This is the sports app on Contour from Cox. Cable TV reimagined to get you right to the good stuff.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
It's halftime here at Notre Dame. Cheerleaders performing there at midfield, and plenty of reason to celebrate. If you're the Saints, they lead Apollo by a score of 28-14. And part of the reason why they've got the 2-touchdown cushion is because of their big playmaker, number 1, the senior wide receiver, running back Jake Smith. Here he is on a 4th down and 1 with the 22-yard touchdown run that got Notre Dame on the board, and then later on, Jake Smith hauls it in. They grab and go for the score. He's got 3 total touchdowns on the night, and there's the 3rd one right there on the ground. And Jake Smith, he's showing you why. He's got over 30 offers, including Alabama, Clemson, Auburn, Ohio State, Georgia, but he has committed to Texas. Incredible player. The senior, 6'1", 185, 3-year varsity performer, also a team captain. All right, let's now take a look at the YurView Arizona TV schedule. And don't forget, next week's game, a big Scottsdale rivalry being renewed. Chaparral at Saguaro. That will be a big contest between those two schools. Then we got Chandler at Desert Ridge, Castile at Higley. Big battle there between East Valley schools. Desert Vista and Mountain Point, the Ahwatukee Bowl. Then we got Liberty at Pinnacle. The Pioneers, they got the top-rated senior quarterback in the country, Spencer Rattler. He's verbal to Oklahoma. We get to see him on Friday, October 12th. Then we got Perry at Hamilton. And how about Sunrise Mountain at Centennial? That's how we wrap up our regular season. That is the schedule for YurView Arizona. It's halftime here at Notre Dame. The Saints leading the Apollo Hawks 28-14. We'll be right back right here. You're watching Game Time on YurView Arizona.
Coming back to school is a big decision, but at AAI, we're with you every step of the way.
We offer career-focused education, and we work with you from the day you enroll through graduation
To help you reach the ultimate goal of moving into the career you deserve.
Don't be afraid to try something new, to try something different. You will set an example for your family, for your children. It's never too late to start a new career.
Check us out at aai.edu.
Or call now and come visit our campus.
See it, hear it, feel it. Monster Jam. Where the only thing bigger than the trucks is the air they catch. See Grave Digger, Max D, Son of a Digger, and more of your favorite Monster Jam trucks. Presented by official partners America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses and BKT Tires. Tickets start at $15. Restrictions may apply. University of Phoenix Stadium, October 6th.
Jeanette, you know how during our date, we couldn't remember the name of that show we both liked. We're Cox customers. We can find it on Contour. Last 9 viewed. My grandkids are here. Home improvement shows. More like this. We liked House Hunters. That's the name of it.
Grandpa, you have a girlfriend?
We're not using labels.
That's a yes.
Watch more, search less, because you're a Cox customer. Cox.com/learn.
Explore the Southwest lifestyle, the culture, the music, the food, y más. Join hosts J.R. Cardenas and Vanessa Ramirez for a Southwest adventure on Su Vida.
We're celebrating the gifts of the Hispanic culture.
Great music, beautiful traditions,
and comida muy deliciosa on the next Su Vida.
Watch Su Vida every Sunday and Wednesday only on YurView at YurView.com. You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
It's halftime here at Notre Dame, and it's the Saints who lead the Apollo Hawks by a score of 28-14. And welcome back, everybody. Chris Harris here along with Dale Hellestrain. Dale, it was Notre Dame that raced out to the 28-7 lead. The Hawks get a late touchdown in the first half, getting some of that momentum back.
Well, they did, and again, it's a tale of a couple things. Number one, Notre Dame, I'm sure Coach Prelock, they saw something on film. You try the onside kick one time. I don't think you try it again. Apollo took advantage of it, and so we have a little football game going on tonight, which is pretty fun.
Take a look at the first half highlights. And it was the Saints defense that got things going here early on. Trey Cartledge with the interception.
The entire first quarter was played on Apollo's side of the field, or Notre Dame's side of the field, I'm sorry. When you have dynamic playmakers like Jake Smith, 4th and 1, able to burst through a gap, score the touchdown. That offensive line do a nice job early in this football game, and then you see Dom Mastro punching it in the end zone, finding a way to score points, and then again, a really nice job, in my mind, all first half long by Jake Farrell. 6'5", 205-pound quarterback, and then Jake Smith again finishing off a drive with a 1 or 2 yard touchdown run. And then you look at this Apollo football team, and Muhammad, very, very electrifying running back. A lot of fun to watch play football. You read about kids, you see stats, you just never know what you're going to see when you get to the game on a Friday night, but he is worth the price of admission.
And Muhammad almost 150 yards in the first half. Jake Smith, he had 4 touches in the first half. 3 of them went for touchdowns as we look at the team numbers from the opening 2 quarters.
Yeah, you see the rushing yards there for Apollo. We knew they were going to have to try to run the football game. We talked about shortening this game. You do that by running the football. Notre Dame a lot more balanced, throwing and passing. Their passing yards have picked up some really big yardage.
We're going to step aside for a quick break. We will be back with more from halftime here at Notre Dame. The Saints leading the Hawks by a score 28-14. You're watching Game Time on YurView Arizona.
Save the dates, October 18th through the 20th. Phoenix Fashion Week, the leading fashion event of the Southwest, showcasing 3 nights of global designer runway shows from Talking Stick Resort in Arizona. Can't make the live shows? Live stream over 25 different fashion shows. Go to phoenixfashionweek.cleeng.com. $9.99 per night, or watch all 3 for just $24.99. Get involved. Vote for the nation's top emerging designers, models of the year, and more. Phoenix Fashion Week, live and online, October 18th, 19th, and 20th.
Your public lands are a common place of recreation for many Arizonans. Unfortunately, these sites are sometimes taken for granted by those who use them. Being a responsible public land steward enables us all to enjoy the beauty that the outdoors brings.
You shoot it, you own it, you pack it out. Don't trash Arizona.
Have you ever had a bad experience with someone you hired for either your home or a personal service? Well, now there's a way to get the job done right. Hi, my name is Jane Manzuris, TV personality, and I want to share with you a hidden gem that will help you get things done at home quickly, accurately, and professionally by the right companies through My Guy Referrals. My Guy is a family-owned referral company that you can really trust. So why is My Guy different? First, to become part of My Guy Referrals, all of My Guy Referral companies have passed a stringent 8-step process, making them the best of the best in their field. They have all different types of companies, from auto mechanics to roofers, exterminators, financial advisors, and landscapers. My Guy has more than 150 companies with thousands of categories to help you. And My Guy stands behind each and every company. My Guy is award-winning, trustworthy, super easy, and free to use. You can visit their website at myguy.com or call 602-867-5309.
Let's take a look at the Arizona Automotive Institute top games for this week. Turn your dreams into reality with career training from AAI. And it is Liberty at Desert Ridge. Liberty with 2 shutouts already this season. They make the long trek out to Mesa to face a resilient Desert Ridge team. How about Gilbert, 2-1 on the season at Goldwater? Gilbert looks to bounce back after last week's blowout loss against this Notre Dame team here. Goldwater tries to prove they are the real deal. How about Pinnacle at J. Sarah Catholic, #1 ranked player in the state. Spencer Rattler set to make his return in the out-of-state showdown in California.
My question is, does Pinnacle get to Sarah Catholic before Liberty gets to Desert Ridge next Friday?
Good question. Chandler will be heading to Las Vegas to take on Faith Lutheran, the Polynesian Classic. Big match for them. And then Desert Edge at Millennium. And then how about Vale Cienega at Centennial? That's a big matchup. The Coyotes coming off the big win against Bishop Gorman last week. We're going to step aside for a quick break. We'll be back with more from halftime here at Notre Dame. The Saints leading the Hawks by a score of 28-14.
In the blink of an eye, cities fall, heroes rise. A heartbeat skips as a man slips gravity's grip, and heartbreak leaps from the brink. In a blink, just think of all the games, teams, hopes, and dreams that live and die because greatness lies in the blink of an eye. This is the sports app on Contour from Cox. Cable TV reimagined to get you right to the good stuff.
Bowel preparation has always been one of the most significant barriers for patients in coming to get colonoscopy. In the past, it was fairly difficult with a large volume of fluid that had to be ingested in order to clean the colon. We have made a lot of progress with this. The standard of care these days is what's called a split dose prep, where you do some of the prep the evening before and some early the morning of the procedure itself. In addition, though, the total volume of what needs to be ingested has gone significantly down. So these days, the preps that are most commonly used are small volume preps where each part only requires about 5 ounces or half a soda can's worth of solution, followed by a number of glasses of water with each part, 3 to 5 glasses. So it's much more manageable than it used to be.
With Cox high-speed internet, you get access to super fast in-home Wi-Fi to power all your devices and do the things you love online. And now, when you're traveling, you have free access to the nation's largest Wi-Fi network with over 500,000 hotspots, so you can stay connected in places such as New York City, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Phoenix, and many more. Learn how with the Cox Discover More video series at cox.com/learn.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
And we are getting ready for the second half here at Notre Dame. Saints leading the Apollo Hawks by a score of 28-14. And it will be Apollo that will get the ball to start the second half. And as we take a look at some of the first half highlights of Apollo senior running back Ali Muhammad, he had a huge first half. 13 carries, 145 yards, and a pair of touchdowns he had on his last 2 carries.
Well, we also saw him catch the ball as he did there. You see him break tackles, great vision. Nobody's going to catch him from behind. We've seen him pick up blitzes very physically, bounces it outside. Can't make a mistake in gap control when you're playing against a kid as good as him, and awful fun to watch.
Well, those touchdown runs by Ali Muhammad had to put a smile on his coach's face, Zach Threadgill, who joins us right now. And Coach Threadgill, how big was that second touchdown run by Muhammad? Give you guys some momentum to go in the locker room there at the half.
Absolutely huge deal. I mean, with the score the way it was, to get that score right before the half and then now get the ball back in the second half, that was great timing.
Talk about your offensive line, the job they've done here in the first half, trying to shorten this game a little bit, but just talk about your offense as a whole.
The line's been doing a really good job. You know, it took us a while to get going, and but once we found our rhythm, we started playing a lot better. You know, defense was playing really good at the start of the game, and we were slow to get going, and so it kind of switched in the second quarter there. But we just need to find a way to play team football right here and finish this thing out.
What adjustments do you make here to try to get this thing in the second half and come out with the win?
We got to get some stops. Got to get some stops on defense, and then offensively, we just need to continue to build on our momentum. You know, be able to run the ball, but ultimately we're going to have to be able to throw this ball as well. So we believe in everybody. We're going to be all right.
Appreciate the time, Apollo head coach Zach Threadgill, as we get set for the second half, as we take another look at Muhammad. He's been extremely impressive here tonight.
Well, another thing we didn't really even touch on is the fact that, you know, Apollo, they only have 40 varsity football players. And obviously you go through ups and downs, and you go through waves when you're talking about an Apollo and a number of other high schools. But when you look at some of the young talent, you know, Penberthy, a junior, your 2 tackles are juniors, and you talk about those guys, it's fun to watch, and the future is bright.
Yeah, they only had 7 returning starters, 4 of them on the offensive side, 3 on the defensive side. You got some guys that never even played football before. You know, they're young and inexperienced, and, you know, the coach is doing a great job trying to get these guys ready for the bright lights of a Friday night. As you take a look at number 12 there, Frank Sanchez, who's been the starting quarterback for Apollo, but he's missing his 2nd straight game out with a concussion. But Brendan Penberthy, the junior quarterback, has stepped in nicely. And as you just heard from Coach Threadgill right there, they're going to rely on him to throw the ball a little bit here in the second half to try to get away with the win here.
Got to keep Notre Dame's defense unbalanced a little bit. Be interesting to see what changes Notre Dame makes defensively. Do you continue to be as aggressive as you were in the first half, now knowing that, boy, somebody misses a gap, and this offense, especially Ali Muhammad, can make you pay.
And Muhammad is deep to return here. The opening kickoff of the second half. Griffin Tuning kicks it away.
That's it.
And that ball is going to bounce its way into the end zone. So it'll be a touchback, and Apollo will start from their own 20-yard line. And again, Muhammad in the first half, 13 carries, 145 yards in a pair of scores.
And none bigger than right before the half as Notre Dame attempted that second surprise onside kick, which wasn't quite a surprise. And you're wondering how Coach Threadgill and his staff are going to approach that. They hand the ball off. I don't think they were expecting to score on that play. But, boy, when you have a kid like Muhammad, anything can happen.
He's a game breaker. So Penberthy and the Hawks offense come out to start the second half. They'll begin from their own 20. Penberthy in that pistol formation, and Muhammad once again with the carry before being brought to the ground. And I was talking to Apollo head coach Zach Threadgill. You know, he's an Apollo alum, played quarterback at Nevada, and the pistol formation was very popular up at Nevada. Played for the Wolfpack, and the longtime head coach Chris Alton, so he incorporates the pistol formation here at Apollo.
Took that straight on.
Second down and 5. Muhammad once again, and boy, that Notre Dame defense, I think they have an idea of what's coming here with Muhammad getting the carries, stacking that box.
Well, Notre Dame is just daring Apollo to throw the football. Look at all these jerseys that are purple that are within about 3 yards of the line of scrimmage. And as Coach Threadgill said, we are going to have to throw the ball a little bit to keep this defense honest. And Notre Dame right now is saying, we don't think you can do it.
No gain on the play, 3rd and 5. Play action, Penberthy hits the receiver but not able to come up with it. For the Hawks is Nico Rodriguez. That would have been a first down, but instead it is 4th and 5. And the Hawks will have to punt it away.
One of those routes, you're coming into all that traffic, very easy to take your eyes off the ball just for a split second. Looked like a good throw, might have picked up the first down, but now you're going to kick the ball back to this potent Notre Dame offense.
Apollo gets the punt away.
He did that!
Well, they got the punt away, but they also ran into the punter. And it'll be a first down for Apollo, giving the ball back. Another special teams miscue by the
Personal
Saints.
foul, roughing the kicker.
Mark the at 42. There is a flag on the play.
Bring it back.
So a big break there, looks like, for Apollo.
15 yards, automatic first down. Snap a little bit high. You can tell the Hawks never thought. Got to be able to touch a little bit of the ball. When you run into the plant leg, that is so dangerous. And again, not sure about the method of blocking punch. You have got to have both hands down and take the ball off the punter's foot. As soon as you put your hands up in the air, you will not block a punt.
Behind the blue.
And that was Josh Calvin, the senior, who got called for roughing the punter. It's not going to make George Prelock a happy man over there on the sidelines for the Saints.
Well, what you do, you give this Apollo offense a little more time to find a rhythm and see if they can't find a way to move the football. Now Notre Dame's going to do a 3-man line. This is where they're going to be bringing those linebackers.
Ball's now at the 40-yard line. Muhammad working the right side, cuts it up. Terrific job there by Ali Muhammad. Looks like play's going to get strung out. Cuts it back inside and picks up 5 yards.
Well, lowers that shoulder and runs through a defender. Like I said, I mean, you don't know what you're going to see. You see stats from some of these high school kids. I have not seen Apollo play football. But watching Ali Muhammad play tonight, he showed me he can catch the ball, he can pick up the blitz, and we all knew he could run the football and then add a little physicality to that speed and elusiveness.
And Coach Threadgill said he is extremely coachable and has a terrific attitude as the ball hit the ground. Penberthy able to fall on it.
So you got a low snap, you got second down, and I think Penberthy just took his eyes off the football. That was knee high, and those are the little mistakes when you're Apollo that you can't make, because now what happens, you're 3rd and long. Guess what's probably going to happen? Notre Dame going to bring a little bit of pressure. Can your pass protection hold up?
3rd and 10. Apollo from their own 40. Trips to the left, 2 receivers split to the right. Penberthy fires to the right side, falls incomplete, and we got flags all over the place. And it looks like it's going to be against Notre Dame.
Looks like they're going to get Adam Boyer. It's funny how these high school kids emulate the NFL players so much. You got receivers throwing the flag before a flag's thrown, and you see that in the NFL all the time.
That was Abel Sanchez, number 6, the intended receiver for Apollo, who was calling for the flag. So George Prelock and Notre Dame, they've got the roughing the punter as the Hawks were trying to punt. And then you got 3rd down and 10. And they get another penalty that gives Apollo another first down.
Well, those are the kind of things that against a really good football team will get you beat.
Go! Go!
Muhammad up the middle. Going to pick up about 4.
Just a real physical run right here. Pick up 4 on this. You see number 90 right in the middle of your screen. And we've talked about Brock Nakar, and the All-American wrestler, 2 weeks out from a broken hand. Out here making tackle after tackle.
Muhammad again. I'll tell you what, it takes more than one Saint defender to bring down Muhammad. He does not come down easy.
No, he doesn't. I think you have a whole newfound respect for him. But again, it's going to come down to this, the fact that, as Coach Threadgill said, we are going to have to complete some passes. If we are, in fact, going to win this football game, that means that Brendan Penberthy is going to have to complete a couple passes down the field to try and loosen up this Notre Dame defense, who, again, is lining up in that odd man front. We'll bring linebackers from every which direction.
3rd and 5, the 10th play of the drive for the Hawks. Penberthy fires, falls, incomplete. And it'll bring 4th down for Apollo. Nice play there. Coming in to break up the pass was Derek Escholtz, junior strong safety and outside linebacker.
Yeah, 6 foot, 180 pounds. A lot of interchangeable parts on this Notre Dame defense. A lot of same size guys playing defensive back and linebacker. And you get some of those physical guys up front. And looks like Coach Threadgill's going to roll the dice here on 4th down.
4th and 5 from the Notre Dame 40. Muhammad, the running back, takes the direct snap. 1st down, Hawks. So the 4th down gamble pays off for Apollo, and they move the chains once again.
Well, that's got to be just so frustrating if you're Notre Dame. I mean, again, direct snap. He has not shown that he can throw the football yet. Let's stop the run. We got free guys getting to the quarterback, breaks 1 tackle, breaks 2 tackles, and is able to pick up the 1st down on 4th down, and that's Cartledge coming up to make the play.
Muhammad on the night, 19 carries, 166 yards, a pair of touchdowns. We're just midway through the 3rd quarter, and he's got more here, still on his feet. Ali Muhammad, another 1st down for Apollo. And he gets brought down at the Notre Dame 21-yard line, and now the Hawks going to quicken the pace here, no huddle. Penberthy going to keep it this time. And he's going to slide down as Connor Butt was in hot pursuit.
Well, you can see the confidence, this offensive line, and you talk about Muhammad. And Muhammad, the play before, he just picked up the 1st down, got up after the 4th down run, and looked like he was limping a little bit. Reminded me of an Earl Campbell. I know a lot of people out there listening don't remember Earl Campbell, but he looked like he could barely make it back to the huddle. And then they'd hand the ball off to him, and he'd run plumb right over you and gain yards. And that's what Muhammad did there, able to pick up yards on the previous play.
Had those tearaway jerseys back then, too, playing for the Houston Oilers. And for the snap on 2nd down and 8, Apollo head coach Zach Threadgill is going to call the timeout. But a terrific drive here for Apollo. They receive the opening kickoff. And they've had the ball the entire 3rd quarter here, just over 6 minutes remaining.
Well, again, if you're Notre Dame, you're looking at a couple things. You're looking at special teams mistakes. You're looking at a couple penalties that have kept this drive alive.
Monster Jam is adrenaline-charged family entertainment, providing jaw-dropping displays and gravity-defying feats that leave fans on the edge of their seats. The biggest stars on 4 wheels return to University of Phoenix Stadium on October 6th. Tickets available now at Ticketmaster.com. Some numbers on this drive here for Apollo. 13 plays, 61 yards, 5:49 off the clock.
Again, if you can punch this ball in, all of a sudden it's a one-score game. And you look at it with 28 seconds left to go in the half, it's 28-7. And momentum is something you can't define. You can't write a definition of it, but boy, you certainly can feel it.
So the Hawks coming out of the timeout, elect to throw. Penberthy, the corner, has the receiver. Johnson just can't haul it in. A beautifully designed play by Threadgill, just not able to connect.
Well, those are the plays that if you're going to win this football game, you have got to make. Pretty good protection, nice blitz pickup, very nice throw by Penberthy. Had a layout and just over the outstretched fingers. What an effort by Johnson to come up with that football.
He had plenty of room on that side there. Just not able to connect. Third down, catch is made. Fighting for the first down and getting it for Apollo is Nathan Kessler, the senior. Keeps the drive alive for the Hawks.
Really, really nice job by Penberthy buying a little extra time here. And you're going to see the out route over here. Pretty good blitz pickup by that offensive line. Throws on target. Able to pick up enough yards for the first down before he gets tackled by Cartledge.
First and goal from the 10. Muhammad takes the handoff, bounces it to the left side, now to the outside. Touchdown, Apollo.
Touchdown run by number 24, Ali Muhammad.
Ali Muhammad, the 10-yard touchdown run, his third score of the night. And the Hawks take the opening kickoff of the second half and take it down for the touchdown.
Kind of looked like a little Le'Veon Bell. Watch him come up here, hesitate, read his blocks, then bounce it out, and then once he goes, nobody's catching him, even though you have the angle. What a tremendous drive and resolve from this Apollo Hawks football team.
And the extra point is up, and it is good by Sean Grimes. And Ali Muhammad with the 10-yard touchdown run pulls the Hawks within 7. It's time to take a Circle K Polar Pop timeout. Your cup, your rules. You're watching Game Time on YurView Arizona.
Hey Arizona, Circle K is home of the 89-cent any-size Polar Pop Foam Cup. Fill up the cup that stays cold longer with your favorite flavor and enjoy all day long. You can get any size Polar Pop Foam Cup for just 89 cents every day. That's right, any size Polar Pop Foam Cup for just 89 cents. Head to Circle K now and get a Polar Pop Cup and so much more, only at Circle K.
Now Contour from Cox gets you right to the strange stuff.
Something's coming. Something hungry for blood.
Noble stuff.
The crown must always win.
Show me something dramatic.
And orange stuff. Along with the best stuff on cable. Because Netflix is now on Contour.
How awesome is this place?
Just say it.
Black Mirror.
And get right to the fierce, funny, bold, and bingey stuff. Watch it all on Contour. Just say Netflix to get started.
5:36 remaining here in the third quarter. Notre Dame Prep leading Apollo 28-21. Ali Muhammad, the senior running back for the Hawks. His third touchdown of the night, but the drive was kept alive by some Notre Dame penalties as well as some big conversions on third and fourth down for the Hawks.
Yeah, kind of interesting the way Apollo attacked this. And Bertha, we talked about him having to complete a couple passes if this Apollo offense was going to score. And then again, just couldn't be more impressed with the play of this offensive line and Ali Muhammad as they drove the ball down, took over half the third quarter, and what was once a 28-7 game is now 28-21, and all the momentum is on the Apollo's sideline.
And now it's a touchdown game. And Zach Siegel calls for the fair catch.
Well, that was almost a disaster. His receiver came up and could have been like a center fielder and right fielder running at each other out there on the baseball field, but Siegel able to hang on to the football. And this Notre Dame offense, let's see if they can continue like they were in the first half.
And Jake Farrell, impressive numbers in the first half. 10 of 16, 194 yards. And the touchdown toss to Jake Smith. You can see why the Ivy League schools are interested in Farrell. 6'5", 205, stands tall in the pocket. He's going to hand it off here, though, this time to Dominic Mastro. Follows some blocks, still on his feet. Mastro on the move. Big run by Dominic Mastro. Seems like it's been a while since that Notre Dame offense has been on the field, but Mastro certainly has not lost a step with a 35-yard run there.
Run off that left side. You got a new left tackle in there. That's Roy Spencer. We've talked about the left guard, Jackson Wiles, and obviously we've mentioned Mastro. Great vision, follows his blocks, physical. Nice hole to run through.
Saints now with the ball at the Apollo 40. Look at the numbers on Mastro. 18 carries, 134 yards, plus the touchdown. A terrific night already here for the junior running back. And man, he is tough to bring down. Fighting to make the tackle there was Frank DeRazzo.
Notre Dame running that same old counter play, pulling the right guard, Cade Bennett kicking out, and then you're getting number 14, and that's Zach Siegel again, leading up inside. Apollo standing up to the challenge on that play.
Second down and 8, 4.5 minutes remaining. Third quarter, Farrell, nice balls, Roberts again. Luke Roberts having himself a night.
Just a little naked bootleg, and Jake Farrell knows he's going to take one right in the chops here, able to hang on to the ball till the last second, get the ball out to Luke Roberts. Just really impressed with the way he catches the football with his hands, runs after the catch, and all of a sudden Notre Dame driving.
22-yard pickup for Roberts. First and 10 for the Saints. Mastro, right side, follows his blocks, kicks it to the outside, fighting for the goal line, gets knocked out of bounds. Looks like they're going to mark him at about the 3. Another big run by the junior running back, Mastro.
Right side of the offensive line, you have Cade Bennett and Cale Gregory do a nice job coming off the ball. Gregory, 280 pounds. Bennett, 295 pounds. Much bigger on the right side than the left side is this Notre Dame Saint offensive line.
First and goal, Mastro gets the carry. The Apollo defense steps up and makes the stop. We'll bring up second and goal.
You know, a lot of times you say, hey, when the offense is out there driving the football, your defense gets to rest, but you can see this Apollo defense a little bit tired, but a lot of them are going both ways. You only have 40 kids on varsity. You're taking a lot of snaps on both sides of the football.
3:20 remaining, third quarter. Saints up by 7, looking to extend their lead. Farrell rolls right, looking for the receiver, Zach Siegel. Falls incomplete, and that's going to bring up third and goal.
Well, Notre Dame, a couple times in that first half, drove the ball down, not able to punch the ball in. Ball came out a little hot there from Jake Farrell on that bootleg.
Handoff, Jake Smith, touchdown Notre Dame. Jake Smith with his 4th touchdown of the night, his 3rd touchdown on the ground.
Well, I think tonight Jake Smith probably needs to take Dominic Mastro out for dinner, as Mastro was a lead blocker on that play, drove them all the way down the field inside the 5-yard line, and who's going to get the touchdown? Jake Smith, who did all the work, Dominic Mastro.
Just like the first half. Chuning's extra point is good. And Notre Dame now leads by a score of 35-21 with 3:09 remaining here in the third quarter. Well, we want to give a big shout out to one of the brothers on the YurView crew, Tom Kioski. Tom is battling a very serious illness right now in his home, hopefully watching the game. Tom is one of the YurView camera operators that brings you the best high school football pictures each and every week of the high school season. He is our senior camera operator, who is the only person on the crew that has been with Cox for all 37 years of televised high school football in Arizona. Tom is also a trusted friend, mentor to others, a great family man, and an all-around terrific and caring person. Tom, we love you and hope and pray that you will beat this illness. All of our thoughts are with you. We now take a look at Jake Smith. 4 touchdowns on the night. Saints lead 35-21. Ali Muhammad with the kickoff return. He doesn't get much of a break out there.
He does not. A lot of coaches say, my star running back, I'm not going to put him back there on kickoff returns. Threadgill said, you know what? He's dynamic. We're going to get the ball in his hands as many times as we can.
He's not afraid of the workload. Muhammad, he had 34 carries in their season opening win against Desert Mountain, where he picked up 256 yards. 22 carries against Castile, 24 last week against Maricopa. Zach Threadgill is not afraid to feed the ball to number 24. 21 carries tonight for $189, 3 scores. Ben Berthe handles the low snap, intercepted Notre Dame. It's a pick 6 for Adam Boyer. Big play by that Saints defense. A 37-yard pick 6 by Adam Boyer, the senior cornerback.
Well, low snap, Penn Berthe. Figures I got to get rid of this football in a hurry. Doesn't see number 4, Boyer for Notre Dame. Throws it right into his hands. You're not going to catch Adam Boyer once he sees the end zone.
So Adam Boyer, another one of the football players that plays lacrosse. Saints have won state title the last 2 years in lacrosse. Extra point is good by Chuning. And just like that, what was a 28-21 game, Saints now lead 42-21.
You remember Penn Berthe, he's a junior. Coach Threadgill, we've talked about him and his coaching ability and trying to keep that team over there, to keep their heads up and try and show them what Notre Dame is doing to them.
Well, the one thing that Coach Threadgill said about Penn Berthe is he doesn't really get rattled. The stage is not too big for him. As you saw, the starting quarterback who's out with a concussion, Frank Sanchez, try to give some words of encouragement to Penn Berthe to tell him to keep his head up and keep going here.
It's just amazing to me that at the high school level here in Arizona, we've come so far that you have iPads over on the sidelines, and you can literally just see what happened on the last play. Technology is something magnificent.
What did you guys have? You were on the sidelines going over the previous possession.
We had an easel, and you had to trust what the guy told you about where the guy lined up, and about 90% of the time, you're wrong, as you see Notre Dame looking at it.
It's going to go out of bounds. Let's see if they'll push it back 5 yards or just take it 25 yards from where the ball's kicked, which would put it at the 35-yard line. And there's a discussion with the officials.
Might be talking about whether they touched the ball or not, or now they're going to ask, do you want to?
Dead ball. Free kick infraction. Ball be placed on the 35. First down.
So the ball is placed 25 yards from where the spot of the kick was.
Oh, they got the officials, they got the microphones, just like the National Football League. I mean, everything's taking a few steps up here in the state of Arizona.
I don't see any easels
on
the sidelines.
I think those went out in the early 80s.
First and 10 for the Hawks, starting from their own 35. Penberthy fires, hits his receiver, Brandon Johnson. He is gone. Touchdown, Apollo. 65 yards.
55-yard pass from.
And the Hawks with the quick strike offense, but penalty flag against Apollo. It'll bring the play back.
You're going to see a holding call on the left tackle. And it was right in front of the head official. Boy, what a big play called back. And
tough break for the Hawks.
Holding. 75 on the offense. 10-yard penalty, previous spot. Replay first down.
That's Marina, the left tackle. Just watch right over here. You see towards the tail end. Steps inside, realizes, kind of grabs. Man, I don't think it was that bad from an offensive lineman's perspective.
Fistful of jersey.
Gage Nora sold it for Notre Dame.
That's part of football these days too, right?
It certainly is. You
got to sell the call, sell the penalty as Muhammad works that right side. But the Hawks have shown they've got a quick strike offense. They have that capability. We saw Muhammad doing that in the first half and saw the touchdown there. Granted, it got called back, but they've got some guys that can make plays.
Well, they do. And again, when we talked about throwing the football and having to make some plays down the field, that might have been Apollo's play right there. You know, it's amazing when these penalties can jump up and bite a football team.
Here's your line, you're on. No.
Second down and 17, 2.5 minutes remain, third quarter. Muhammad again working that right side. Gets pushed out of bounds. Talk about the Apollo offensive line and their center, Liam Bannon. He's also part of the school's jazz band, number 71, plays the baritone saxophone, and their band competed at state this past year. Love to see all these players being involved in other activities on campus. One of the senior captains on this team as well. As you see, Muhammad's now gone over 200 yards on the night. We're not even through the third quarter yet. Penberthy in trouble. Interception with the pick for Notre Dame, and trucking down the right sideline is number 18, Derek Escholtz. And it's back-to-back interceptions for Penberthy as he comes up limping.
It comes up limping. He took a pretty good shot. Pressure right into his face. Good coverage downfield, and see the Notre Dame defense able to step.
Well, you see Penberthy getting worked on. Remember, the regular starting quarterback, Frank Sanchez, out with a concussion. Penberthy's the number 2 quarterback. So they are already thin at that position as Mastro gets bottled up on the carry there. They continue to work on Penberthy on the sidelines, work on the lower part of his left leg.
Well, again, you see
Lochnacar in there as well as Calvin.
the end of the play there. And
second and goal, Farrell, touchdown Notre Dame. And he finds Zach Gray. And it's the neighbors with the touchdown, Farrell to Gray.
well, really nice route by Gray as he's going to sell the inside, move, and then break outside. You see how open he is. Single coverage outside there. Tough to do that down by the goal line. That's how you pay off a turnover if you're Notre Dame.
Extra point is good. So that Notre Dame defense doing a great job here in the third quarter of getting the ball to their offense, and the offense converts, and that's now 21 points off turnovers for the Saints. And this time it was Jake Farrell to Zach Gray, the neighbors. Zach Gray's got some interest from Dartmouth, Princeton, Brown, University of San Diego.
Well, he has a 3.93 GPA. Jake Farrell has a 3.93 GPA. And all they're doing is looking up at Cale Gregory, the right tackle, offensive lineman, who has a 4.2 GPA. He's getting offers from schools I really can't even pronounce.
Well, one of them's letters, MIT. That one I can handle.
Well, that confuses me in and of itself.
Also got offers from Columbia Penn and Carnegie Mellon as well.
That was it, Carnegie Mellon.
Yeah.
Where's that? What state?
Carnegie Mellon is in Pennsylvania.
I think you're just saying it. You don't know.
Muhammad on the return here for Apollo, and we're here at Notre Dame Stadium where they play on Scott Bemis Field, a coaching legend. Started up the program here back in 2002, won state championships back-to-back 2007, 2008. He actually hired on the current Saints head coach, George Prelock, back in 2004, and sadly passed away back in 2012 due to lung cancer at the age of 45 years old. But his impact is still felt here on campus, still a big part of the Saints program and their success. Let's take a look at Bemis Field. And one of his former players there working the camera for us tonight, former Notre Dame legend, Corey. You can smile, give it up. Almost 1,600 yards your senior season, 28 total touchdowns.
I bet you Corey had a run over Scottsdale Community College. He didn't get to run on Bemis Field.
This field did not exist back then.
Right.
But Scott Bemis had a chance to go into his old office that is now occupied by George Prelock. And Coach Prelock, a classy move. He still has Scott Bemis's straw bucket hat still hanging in the office. It's just kind of a little reminder, memento, and I thought it was just a real classy gesture on Coach Prelock's part.
I remember the first state championship game and came over here to visit with him, and I said, you know, what's your game plan? And he said, well, I'll take you over to the football room and show it to you. And all the plays were drawn up on a whiteboard. Again, we see Muhammad ordering around outside. He was about 30 feet away from me, couldn't really read anything, and he goes, hey, I forgot the keys. And I said, well, that's not going to help me at all. And I kind of busted his chops a little bit on air, as you see the kid here lowering his shoulder. Muhammad not going to shy away from contact. Kind of busted his chops a little bit on air, and they made the state championship the next year, and he actually let me see his plays. Not that it meant anything to me or anything, but always enjoyed interaction with Scott Bemis and his coaching staff.
Certainly left a lasting legacy here on the campus at Notre Dame Prep, not just on the football field, but just the entire campus as well. And Scott Bemis, he played his high school ball at McClintock. And tonight at McClintock, they are honoring coaching legend Carl Kiefer there in their matchup against Central. But we're through 3 quarters here at Bemis Field at Notre Dame High School. And it is the Saints on top of the Apollo Hawks. They lead 49-21 the 4th quarter. When we come back, you're watching Game Time on YurView Arizona.
What is Valle Luna Mexican Food and Cantinas? We are a true Arizona original, serving carefully prepared, authentic Sonoran-style cuisine since 1983. We are time-honored family recipes using only the freshest ingredients. Good fun, a family place, a gathering place. We are happy faces and happy hours. We are your new favorite neighborhood hangout. Valle Luna Mexican Food and Cantinas.
See it, hear it, feel it. Monster Jam. Where the only thing bigger than the trucks is the air they catch. See Grave Digger, Max D, Son of a Digger, and more of your favorite Monster Jam trucks. Presented by official partners America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses and BKT Tires. Tickets start at $15. Restrictions may apply. University of Phoenix Stadium, October 6th.
Join Jane Manzuras on Creative Living as she shares fun and inspiring ideas for enriching your life.
I'm Jane Manzuras, and on the next Creative Living, we're heading back to school. Plus, great ideas for after-school snacks that are quick and easy. And a lesson in making friendship bracelets that'll have a lot of bling.
Watch Creative Living Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday on YurView and YurView.com.
We head to the 4th quarter, and it is Notre Dame leading Apollo by a score of 49-21. Well, here are this week's top players of the week. We open up with Taryn Rose from Thunderbird. How about that? Goes over 100 yards rushing and receiving. 5 total touchdowns in their win over Deerville. How about Tawee Walker, Centennial against Bishop Gorman? That was the game that we had. Big game on both sides of the ball. How about out at Estrella Foothills? The quarterback goes for 154 yards on the ground in the overtime win. J.D. Johnson still filling in for Spencer Rattler. 401 yards, 4 TDs. And Jet Kinch from Liberty, a big game there for the Lions. 173 yards, 3 TDs, and the big victory over Sunrise Mountain. And then Jalen Kitna, 5 touchdowns in the win over Tolleson. Vince Wallace for Seton Catholic, 5 touchdowns for him as well, 323 yards. And Anthony Flores, 156 yards, 5 touchdowns on the ground in the Cobras game last week. As we now start the 4th quarter, Penberthy tries to get it out there on a little screen. Not able to haul it in, though, is Nico Rodriguez.
That's a couple times those inside routes going into traffic. Difficult catch, but Rodriguez, catch that ball and you're going to gain 4, 5, 6 yards at minimum. You make somebody miss, it can turn into a big play.
And that 5 of 15 there for Penberthy, he's a little deceiving. He's had some drop passes as well. 2nd down and 10. And there is another loose snap. The Saints fall on it. Connor Butt with the recovery. As the issues continue for Apollo in the snapping department. And we count 5 snaps that have hit the ground for the Hawks.
There have been a couple low snaps, and again, that's one that hits Penberthy right in the hands. And there's so much stuff going on when you're looking, trying to read a defensive guy. You're going to hand it off. You're going to keep it. You're going to throw it. Some guys can make it look so easy. We were talking about a young kid, a junior. who's struggled with that a little bit tonight.
Here's a toss to the right side. Nice run there. It's the first carry of the night for Briggs Moore. Nice pickup work in the right side there. It's going to bring up 1st and goal for Notre Dame.
185 pounder. Run off that right side behind Cale Gregory and Cade Bennett.
First and goal from the 4. Moore again, touchdown Notre Dame. Briggs Moore, the 4-yard touchdown run, his first touchdown of the season. And the Saints keep on marching to the end zone.
Again, we talk about Cade Bennett. Watch the room that he opens up here. The kid who's been offered by quite a few schools. He'll be offered by Moore, only a junior, 290 pounds. Opens up a really nice hole, and Briggs Moore ends up scoring the touchdown.
And the extra point is up, and it is good. And Notre Dame now leading Apollo 56-21. 11:24 remaining here in the 4th quarter. It's time to take a Circle K Polar Pop timeout. Your cup, your rules. You're watching Game Time on YurView Arizona.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
Hey Arizona, Circle K is home of the 89-cent any-size Polar Pop Foam Cup. Fill up the cup that stays cold longer with your favorite flavor and enjoy all day long. You can get any size Polar Pop Foam Cup for just 89 cents every day. That's right, any size Polar Pop Foam Cup for just 89 cents. Head to Circle K now and get a Polar Pop Cup and so much more, only at Circle K.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
Notre Dame 56, Apollo 21, 11:24 remaining here in the 4th quarter. And Dale, you talked about the right guard, Cade Bennett. I spoke with him earlier in the week, asked him what he wants to do later on. He said he wants to be involved in aeronautics. Now, he's actually flown with a licensed pilot in a 2-seat private plane. He's actually been at the controls for taking off and landing. He said landing's a little bit sketchy. You don't want the propeller to be down. But I know this is a young man that you know a little bit about, worked with. Your thoughts about him flying planes?
Well, understand something. I'm not getting a plane that he has anything to do with controlling it. And number two, I don't think the two of us are fitting in a 2-seat plane.
That's a big plane.
But he can play football, and I've known him for quite a long time. I remember when he was a 6th, 7th grader, a little chunky back then. Mike Sheehan.
You're going to do him like that?
His offensive, defensive line coach, make him run 40-yard dashes. Cade Bennett didn't want to do it, but he's come a long way since 6th, 7th, 8th grade. So great family he comes from. Has an older brother, Carter, who played for me at Scottsdale Christian Academy, and Cade has a very, very bright future. But having said all that,
you're not flying with him.
I will not get into a 2-seat plane with him in a million Sundays.
Talking with Coach Prelock about him, he said he's physically dominant, great athlete, great feet, and a high IQ. Have you seen all that with him and more?
I've seen physically dominant. I forgot what else you just said because I was looking at the stats.
Great athlete,
yep.
Great feet,
yep.
High IQ.
Well, the high IQ thing we could maybe talk a little bit about.
You can work on that a little bit more with him?
He's got to work on something.
He's an impressive young man. Very polite, I will say that. There's Muhammad once again. An absolute workhorse for this Hawks offense, getting the carry again.
Take a look at this Apollo offensive line. We've talked about how young they are, inexperienced, but I want you to watch this right guard right here. Watch him pull out, how athletic he is. Watch the physicality at the point of attack. And I'm sorry, that's the center who did that, which is even harder to do. That's Liam Bannon, 286-pound junior, snapping the ball, getting out there on the edge with some physicality and finishing the block.
Muhammad left side. Play gets strung out. Look at this stiff arm, though. Ali Muhammad gives Adam Boyer a faceful.
I love to see running backs do this, but for the life of me, I don't understand how that can't be a face mask call. If a defender does that to the offensive player, it's a face mask penalty 100% of the time, and I do not understand. Please somebody call Chris Harris and explain why that's not offensive face mask.
No phone number available for that one. Where's the Caramellis? We should hear from the head of officiating on that one. 3rd and 2. Muhammad lunging, fighting for the first down, and he's going to get it. There is no quit in that young man right there, Ali Muhammad, as they continue to feed him the rock.
We talked about it, 5'10", 180 pounds, runs a lot bigger than 180 pounds. Runs as fast as 180 pounds. And just, like I said, love his vision, love his intensity, love his physicality.
3.7 GPA in the classroom. Volunteers as a youth coach. Coming up with the catch here for Apollo, trying to find some room to run, is Nathan Kessler. The great pursuit there by that Saints defense. And you touched on the first half, Dale, the defensive coordinator for Notre Dame, Bob Young, the former longtime head coach at Cottonwood Mingus, where he won a state title in 1997, was state runner-up in 2005 and 2007, where they actually lost to Notre Dame.
You always knew you were going to play a well-coached, physical football team when you played Mingus.
No question about it. And there's more trouble there with the snap through the hands of Penberthy, but Ali Muhammad is there to fall on it this time.
And a little bit hot, a little bit low. Nice job by Muhammad just jumping on the football. Again, you're asking your center, who's 6'2", 290 pounds, to snap shotgun and then pull and set the edge. Really difficult to do.
3rd down and 17. Johnson in motion. Muhammad takes the direct snap. And a great tackle there made by number 23, Blake McKeon, the senior middle linebacker. Another lacrosse player.
Well, lacrosse player, 3.82 GPA. Looks like this might go somewhere. Look at 23 right in the middle of your screen. Able to hang on to the jersey. You mentioned those old Earl Campbell tearaway jerseys. I think Muhammad would still be running if they had the tearaway jerseys.
Yeah, he's hitting pay dirt. McKeon just had a handful of jersey, and that was about it. Apollo punts it away. Getting the nice roll. It works its way down the sideline. Kessler's going to mark it down. 7:39 remaining here, 4th quarter. Notre Dame leading Apollo 56-21.
Well, it's just hard to believe it was 28-21. Apollo had all that momentum on their side.
Take a look at the numbers for Jake Smith, the first 3 games of the season. Remember, committed to Texas to play for the Longhorns, number 6 ranked athlete in the country. I want you to look in particular at that game against Sunny Slope. 237 yards on the ground, had 6 total touchdowns. He had, in the first 2 games of the season, 11 of Notre Dame's 12 touchdowns. Continuing the trend here tonight. You see the yardage not overly impressive, but he's got 4 touchdowns on the evening. So when he's touching the ball, he's making it count.
Oh, you got a bunch of Notre Dame backups in.
And the handoff once again to Briggs Moore, who earlier on had his first touchdown run of the season. Senior running back. Tell you what, no problems here with Notre Dame's offense so far this season. The first game they had 41 points. Game 2 had 41 points. Last week 47 points. Here tonight 56 points here midway through the fourth quarter.
Well, as their season goes along, Desert Mountain, that's going to be a rivalry game for this Notre Dame team.
Nice pass there. It's complete to Grayson Flights. Makes the nice grab, the senior wideout. Pickup of 20 yards, and Flights actually recovered a fumble in the end zone for a touchdown in last week's win at Gilbert. And you mentioned, Desert Mountain game's a big rivalry game up here in North Scottsdale. And they'll be taking on the Wolves. That game's next week. Another handoff to Moore. Making the tackle there for Apollo, number 34, Frank Durazo. We touch on those 56 points here tonight for Notre Dame, but 28 of those points coming off of turnovers. Saints defense forcing 5 turnovers here tonight.
Well, what's going to be interesting about this Notre Dame team, obviously you got Desert Mountain who can score a lot of points. They have not been able to stop anybody. I think they play Saguaro tonight.
Yes, they do, at Desert Mountain.
And then Cacashaws and McClintock. I'm not sure when they're going to get tested for the first time. As you go through their schedule, McClintock, Horizon, North Canyon, Paradise Valley, all good squads, but not in the state championship conversation. You know, and sometimes, you know, as we sat there and watched Centennial last week and swore the week before that, playing these tough out-of-state football teams, whether you win or lose, kind of sets you up for when you get into those playoffs and you get into a run.
Farrell on 3rd and 9, fires, has his receiver, it's Flights, first down, Notre Dame. Ball is loose. Jumping on to recover it for Notre Dame. Looks like it's Zach Gray, and he indeed hangs on to the ball. So it was Flights making the big catch and run. Ball gets knocked free, and Zach Gray is there for the recovery. And that pigskin's flying around everywhere on the ground, and Gray's able to finally fall on it.
A really nice job putting your helmet on the football there, Frank Durazo, and good hustle downfield by everybody from Notre Dame.
Briggs Moore with the carry. Ian Delgado in on the tackle. And Dale, yeah, you're touching on Notre Dame playing Desert Mountain next week. I'll tell you what, this Saints defense, it will get tested next week. Desert Mountain quarterback Keaton Slovis, verbally committed to USC. He's a kid, he can absolutely spin it for the Wolves. Notre Dame tonight, only 2 plays that have lost yardage here tonight. As they look at 2nd down, 11. We got a new quarterback in now for Notre Dame. Looks to be Derek Escholtz is your new quarterback for the Saints.
Well, and he's a junior, 6 foot, 180 pounds, and you would think that if you're Notre Dame, probably just going to run the football. Although when you have A defense that has 8, 9, 10 guys up on the line of scrimmage, sometimes you're tempted as a coach to say, hey, let's take advantage of that, especially if I have my backup quarterback in.
Take a look at Farrell's numbers on the night. 14 of 21, 264 yards, a pair of touchdown tosses. Eschel's pass falls incomplete, and I was impressed with Jake Farrell. Talking with his coach, George Prelock, he said he is a football junkie. Watches a ton of film, high IQ, strong, accurate arm, very calm, very poised. Talk about the Ivy League schools, drawn interest in him. 3.93 GPA, AP honors classes. Also, two-sport guy, also center on the basketball team. You got to think the colleges like that as well, playing the multiple sports. 10th play of the drive for the Saints. Briggs Moore, big carry. Briggs Moore, the senior, getting some work here in the fourth quarter. Picks up another first down for the Saints.
Again, this offensive line pretty good. Watch back here, watch the movement that these backup offensive linemen get.
Nice cutback.
And that Apollo defense just worn down.
You mentioned the fact Apollo just 40 varsity players. This defense has been on the field a lot here tonight.
Especially here in the second half, after that 6-minute drive that the offense started the third quarter with.
Briggs Moore once again weaves his way through the defense. Briggs Moore, his second touchdown run of the night. Give credit to that Notre Dame offensive line, as Briggs Moore had plenty of room to work with.
Shooting to attempt a point after.
Extra point by Tuning is good. Look there, Briggs Moore, the quarterback hops in for some FaceTime as well. Jake Farrell, Briggs Moore, the 13-yard touchdown run. 11-play drive, 73 yards. Shoot up 5.5 minutes off the clock. Let's now take a look at our play of the game, and it's going to be the pick six by Adam Boyer for Notre Dame.
Got a quarterback, a junior, not a whole lot of experience. Ball falls on the ground, tries to make a play. Notre Dame very opportunistic defensively.
Bob Young's defense forcing 5 turnovers here tonight. Here's a good look at Adam Boyer, the senior. Apollo on the return. Ball is loose. Notre Dame recovers. Number 17, Max Bergamo, the senior, comes away with the recovery. And it looks like it was number 8, Grayson Flights, that might have forced the fumble.
Trying to make something happen. See a bunch of purple jerseys. Came in there and tore the ball out. That was Grayson Flights ripping it out.
YurView.com for more information.
And with the 63-21 42-point lead, we have a running clock now. 1.5 minutes remaining.
Hello.
like Notre Dame's just going to go with the victory formation. Just over a minute remaining. Taking a knee is Escholtz. Clock continues to run.
You have to take one more knee.
Don't forget, we are home next week.
And you gotta like the effort from this Apollo Hawk football team, and seem to think there's bright future ahead for Zach Threadgill.
Coach Threadgill always does a terrific job with the Apollo program. Always gets the most out of his players. They always play hard. And this team will continue to improve as the season wears on. And Ali Muhammad, take a look at him. Terrific job by that senior running back. Enjoyed watching his effort here tonight. And the final seconds tick off. And it is the Notre Dame Prep Saints coming away with the victory over the Apollo Hawks. The final score, 63-21. We'll step aside for a quick break. When we come back and put the final touches on this one. Saints 63, Hawks 21. We'll be right back. You're watching Game Time on YurView Arizona.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
50 years ago, President Johnson signed a bill that continues to impact our lives to this day.
The signing of the Colorado River Basin Project Act was the result of tenacious Arizonans. They had a steadfast vision that water security and stability were critical to ensuring Arizona's future. The result is what we know today as the Central Arizona Project.
Through 336 miles of aqueduct and pipelines, CAP provides water to 80% of the state's population, only made possible by a hard-fought battle in Washington 50 years ago.
In Arizona, this act led to one of the world's great engineering marvels. You can even see it from outer space. That's quite an accomplishment. We are watching history made every day, and we are making history ourselves, and that's really something to celebrate.
Here's to the leaders who drafted and fought for the act, the president who signed it into a law, and Central Arizona Project, who keeps the water flowing.
Coming back to school is a big decision, but at AAI, we're with you every step of the way.
We offer career-focused education, and we work with you from the day you enroll through graduation
To help you reach the ultimate goal of moving into the career you deserve.
Don't be afraid to try something new, to try something different. You will set an example for your family, for your children. It's never too late to start a new career.
Check us out at aai.edu.
Or call now and come visit our campus.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Notre Dame, where the Saints beat the Apollo Hawks 63-21. The Saints head coach George Prelock talks to his team, and that includes one Jake Smith, who is our player of the game, and he came in as good as advertised here on the night. 4 touchdowns on the night.
Again, offense did a really nice job. See here, that was a 4th down run, and offensive line opened up a hole, selling out to stop it. See a little seam route for the touchdown, and then a couple short touchdown runs after nice drives by the offense of Notre Dame. Pays it off with Jake Smith's touchdown.
Well, you can see why there were 30-plus major universities with offers to Jake Smith. And he has verbally committed to the University of Texas. We had offers from schools like Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Ohio State. He's showing some of that playmaking ability here tonight, making things happen for this Saints team. 63 points on the night. What impressed you with what you saw from Notre Dame Prep?
Well, again, I'm sitting here wondering about the level of competition they're playing. You take a look at their schedule so far, and again, they're talking about Fairfax and Sunny Slope and Gilbert, and nothing against those schools. Apollo obviously played hard. I just don't know where their challenge is going to be, and I've seen a lot of high schools that go through a regular season without much of a challenge, and all of a sudden you get to the playoffs, and hey, none of those teams are in the playoffs. And you end up getting hit in the mouth, and how do you respond? So be interesting to see how this Notre Dame team responds as this season goes along, because they've got some talent, but they're still young.
Well, the good news is they've won the 4 games that were in front of them. And tonight, it was a 63-21 victory, and you saw right there a very balanced effort here tonight for Notre Dame, passing the ball, rushing the ball. But let's point out real quick here on the left side there, the 238 rushing yards for Apollo, and most of those belong to the senior running back, Ali Muhammad. We're impressed you tonight about Mr. Muhammad.
Well, I think we sing his praises throughout the football game. Tough, hard-nosed, picks up blitzes, great vision, speed, all those things. 30 rushes, 233 yards, 3 touchdowns. Watch this catch. Tips it to himself, able to pick up the first down with that body control. Then you see the vision running through arm tackles. You're not going to arm tackle this young man. And when he sees the end zone, you're not going to catch him. And he was around all night long. Again, some of these runs reminded me a lot of a Le'Veon Bell, making guys miss, patient. And I know it's a little part of the game, but let me tell you something that you need to keep an eye on Ali Muhammad. He also will step up and hit a linebacker in the mouth when he's picking up a blitz, which is really, really impressive.
All-around running back for the Apollo Hawks. I know Apollo head coach Zach Threadgill is happy to have him, no doubt about it. As we are waiting to hear from Notre Dame Prep head coach George Prelock, as we take a look at Zach Threadgill. And when you look at this Hawks team moving forward, what do you see with Apollo?
Well, again, you got some young guys that can make some plays, and I think that the Brendan Penberthy has a chance to mature. And again, you look at the size, 6'4", 185 pounds, saw some nice passes. The more he plays, the more experience he gets, the better he's going to become. Tough kid, hurt his ankle or foot, and he's limping now, went back out there and fought through the game. So, again, you have a quarterback and a couple young offensive linemen and those tackles, first year playing football. You have a chance to be good as long as you continue to build.
And this Notre Dame Prep defense, they forced 6 turnovers on the night. You're not going to win too many games when you turn the ball over 6 times.
No, you're not. And again, that's the young quarterback, making some mistakes, panicking a little bit of center quarterback exchange problems, and a couple on the center, a couple of them on the quarterback, and need to get those things ironed out, and Notre Dame being very opportunistic.
And we're now joined by Notre Dame Prep head coach George Prelock. And, Coach, thanks for joining us. 63 points on the night. You force 6 turnovers. What were you most pleased with?
The overall effort, how we came out in the second half and responded. Give a ton of credit to Apollo. They came out, they had that long drive and made us really focus, but we knew that was going to happen. We didn't know that, it was going to happen that matter. We'd like to get back that penalty. Don't want to run into the kicker, rough the kicker, but when it comes down to it, we performed and we're able to execute in the second half.
Jake Smith, he's verbally committed to go to Texas. We saw tonight what a special player he is. What impresses you the most about him?
Work ethic and leadership. When it comes down to it, the kid wants to get better. He'll be the first to tell you he wants to get better at route running. That's his biggest thing. And he works at it in practice. And, he's always the first one out there, and he's also catching balls after practice. And, he just has that desire to be great.
So Jake Smith gets all the credit and all the acclaim and all those things. But I tell you what, Coach Dom Dominic Mastro really impressed me with his physicality and him running the football.
Yeah, Dom's coming to his own when it comes down to it. He really just runs downhill, and that's what we preached all week, run downhill, and he was able to do that tonight.
Coach, you're 4-0 in the season. What do you want to see from your team moving forward?
Like any coach, I think just continue to get better, focus one practice at a time, one rep at a time, one play at a time, and that's our goal, that's our motto, and want to just continue to get better as the season goes on.
Congratulations on the victory, 4-0 in the season. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate all your hard work.
Thank you. All right, we'll be back on Game Time next week with another outstanding matchup for you. Jason Mons and the Saguaro Sabercats host Ohio State commit QB Jack Miller and the Chaparral Firebirds. There will be no shortage of Division I talent flying all over the field on both sides of the ball. Tune in at 7 p.m. for all the action. Game Time on YurView is back. Well, that'll do it for us here tonight at Notre Dame Prep High School, and it is the Saints getting the victory over the Apollo Hawks. 63-21 is the final. For my partner Dale Hellestray, for our statistician Jared Donnins, for our producer in the truck Peyton Wignans, as well as our director Pete Gordon, I'm Chris Harris saying so long. Thanks for watching Game Time on YurView Arizona. We'll see you again next week.
Game Time high school football coverage on YurView has been sponsored by Arizona Automotive Institute. Turn your dreams into reality with career training from AAI. By Circle K. It's time for a Circle K Polar Pop timeout. Your cup, your rules. And by Valle Luna, proud supporter of scholar athletes in Arizona. Join us all fall long for some of the top high school football from around the country on Game Time.